Vandalia Butler Aviators invade Alexander Stadium on this Thursday night to conclude the home season for the Piqua Indians. Piqua's coming off an impressive win over Greenville and looking forward to the final 3 games of the season. Tonight with Butler, next Friday night at Tip City, and the last game of the season at Troy. Bob Luby, it's a big game, a bigger game than one you might imagine, because the Indians have got to keep winning if they have any hope out of a playoff berth. What are the keys to a win tonight for the Indians?
Well, I think first of all, the Indians have to contain the Vandalia Butler run game. Logan Flatt, outstanding tailback. He's gained almost 900 yards this year, and he's very capable of taking it to the house on any play. Pretty good speed, finds his holes well, just a really good running back. So number one, they have to be able to do that. And secondly, I think it's important that the Indians don't allow any special team plays to beat them. Again, Logan Flatt is a kickoff return man, and he has that ability to take it all the way from one end of the field to the other. So I think it's important the Indians contain him by either kicking away from him or having very, very good coverage on their kickoffs.
Those are the keys for a victory for the Indians. The Piqua High School band coming onto the field. They'll give us the alma mater and then the national anthem. But Bob, while we got a few minutes, let's talk a little bit about the computer ratings. What does that look like? We're getting now down to where sometimes the numbers are pretty telling.
Well, yeah, and of course, Piqua's Division III, and we were ranked, I believe, 18th this week. So Piqua has a long way to go to get back in the hunt. Trotwood's in first place in Division III, followed by Franklin. I'm just giving the local teams. Kettering Alter is 5th, Dunbar 7th, Salina's 8th, and Wapok's 10th. So for the Indians to get back in the hunt, they're going to have to obviously win out and get some help along the way from some other schools. Division I, I think, to me, this is the one I'm always intrigued with. Of the 10 top schools in Division I Region 3, there are 6 area schools in the top 10. Centerville's ranked at number 1, Hilliard Bradley's number 2, Pickerington North number 3, Fairmont number 4, Pickerington Central number 5, Wayne 6, Northmont 7, Reynoldsburg 8th, Springfield is 9th, and Beaver Creek is 10. That could be a battle in that one, as I said, with 6 area teams, and there's still there'll be some changes in that, depending on matchups, etc. Division II, Sydney sits at number 4. Belmont's at 5th place in Division II Region 8. Troy's in 9th place. So the Trojans possibly could move up and be a part of that particular playoff situation.
Bob, let's just talk, for instance, I have people that I'm going to talk to, and I'm sure you're getting the people that are fans of the Indians saying that if Troy could beat Sydney and Piqua could beat Troy, there's a chance the Indians could sneak into the playoffs. What's your feeling?
I think it would take a minor miracle right now for the Indians to get into the playoffs. But again, I'm not the expert on the mathematics and figuring out all the computer points and the second level points and so on. So if the right people are saying that, Dwayne, there must be something to it. But I'd question that right at this point.
When again, I think a lot of people, this being a Thursday night, a lot of people are waiting for that Sydney-Troy game. That ought to be a dandy right now. The Troy kids playing very, very well. Sydney's defense being a little suspect. That could happen, but we still have a couple games in front of us. The Vandalia Butler Aviators and Tip City Red Devils, and the Red Devils aren't playing badly either.
No, I think the Indians have three pretty good football teams they have to play to finish out the year. And as a result, all these games are important to Piqua starting here tonight. Vandalia has played pretty well throughout the year. Their schedule's been pretty difficult, I think. They opened by playing Massillon Perry, a Division I school who currently has a 6-1 record. And they lost to Wilmington, another good football team, and they also lost to Northmont. So they've lost to 3 pretty good football teams.
And again, I think it's a long way, 3 weeks away, but again, a lot of things can happen a lot of things can shift. In Piqua's case, they're probably going to need some help besides maybe the ones that we mentioned. So again, the playoffs are on everybody's mind. Right now, we're waiting for the Piqua team to come out on the field. Here they come. And again, a reminder that our sponsors include Gonzo Radio, America's Best Choice Windows and More, Miami Valley Steel, East of Chicago Pizza, Moore's Heating and Cooling Comfort Systems, Mulligan's Pub, Dick Lumpkin, Piqua Harley Davidson, Unity National Bank, Miami Valley Center Mall here in Piqua, Going Postal, SC Collectibles in the Miami Valley Center Mall, Beppo Uno, Brownlee Ray Realty, Town and Country Furniture, Frank Fullenkamp, Frenchtown Trailer and Sales, and the Jewelry Barn. So those are the people who are bringing these telecasts to you, and we're glad that you're with us tonight at Alexander Stadium. It's senior night, and Bob, I'm a little disappointed across the way at the crowd from Vandalia Butler, but right now everybody's being asked to stand for the national anthem. National anthem by the Piqua High School Marching Band. Bob, just 2 minutes away from kickoff. How about giving us the starting lineups?
Okay, Piqua won the toss and deferred to the second half. So we'll start with the Vandalia offense. They'll line up across the front. At center, number 51, Keegan Summer. He's a 5'9", 209-pound senior. The guards, number 67, Ben Sipus, a 6'1", 260-pound junior, and Hunter O'Call, number 50, a 6', 225-pound senior. The tackles, number 52, Caden Sarr. He's 6'3", a 235-pound senior, and number 79, Will Long, a 6'6", 280-pound junior. The ends, number 14, Court Justice, 6'1", 155-pound senior, and number 13, Bryant Johnson, a 6'5", 175-pound junior. Quarterback, number 6, Mason Motter. He's 6', 170-pound junior. The backs are number 25, Ryan Martin, a 5'8", 175-pound junior. Number 35, Logan Flatt, a 5'11", 180-pound senior. And number 4, Jack Mitchell, a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. Defensively for the Indians, they'll line up with the defensive linemen, starting at defensive end, number 51, Brennan Toops, a 6', 209-pound junior. The other end, number 85, Derek Height, a 6'3", 269-pound senior. The tackles, number 97, Lance Reeves, a 6', 227-pound freshman. And the other tackle, number 65, Wayne Arbogast, 6'1", 225-pound junior. Linebackers, number 11, Mick Karn, a 5'11", 172-pound junior. Middle linebacker, number 23, Ben Smeezing, a 6'2", 222-pound senior. And Jim Congdon, number 20, 5'9", 165-pound senior. The defensive backs, number 7, Jacob Bushnell, a 5'11", 183-pound senior. McKeegan Kuhn, number 37, a 6', 203-pound sophomore. Number 6, Hayden Shrub, a 6'3", 183-pound senior. And number 35, Devon Brown, a 5'11", 186-pound senior.
Those are your starting lineups for tonight's game with the Vandalia Butler Aviators visiting Alexander Stadium. The officials for tonight, the referees Larry Cox, the linemen's Rob Cowles, the line judge Billy Willis, the umpires Rich Fox, and the back judge is Justin McCullough. Just about ready to kick it off here on senior night at Alexander Stadium. As we mentioned right before the national anthem, the crowd across the way, Bob, is a little bit slim.
Yeah, it is. And, we talk about, it's a Thursday night. The game's on television. So I'm sure some people said, do I want to sit at home in my easy chair, access to all the refrigerator and coolers and everything, or do I want to sit on a metal bench? I think I'll sit at home in my easy chair.
All right, we're just about ready now. We're waiting for both teams to find their way onto the playing surface. Piqua's going to kick it off to Vandalia Butler. And we're glad you've joined us. It's the final home game for the Indians. Next week they go to Tip City. The week after that, the 10th and final game of the season, they'll play at Troy in what should be a dandy. So we're glad you've joined us tonight. We're waiting now for the players to line up for the opening kickoff, and we'll be ready to go. One of the things we noticed is Robbie Comstock was not in his uniform during the introduction of the senior players, so we're not exactly sure whether or not he's going to be doing the kicking or whether or not we've got somebody else who might be kicking off for Piqua. And by golly, I think we do. I think Hayden Shrub's going to kick it off, Bob.
Yeah, it looks like he lines up behind the tee, so that would be my guess. Robbie Comstock plays soccer. I wonder if maybe he suffered some type of injury in the soccer game.
Deep for the Vandalia Butler Aviators is Logan Flatt and Connor Hendricks. Let's see what Bill Neese decides to do. Robbie Comstock has kicked for all of the games. Let's see what Hayden Shrub can do as we kick this one off. And here's the whistle, and here's the kick. Going to go down to the 15-yard line. Picked up on the far side. Let's see who gets off the bottom of the stack. Looks like it's going to be number 20. And that's going to be Dalton Sharp. So Dalton Sharp brings it back to about the, let's see where they're going to spot the football, Bob. I believe to about the 30, looks like the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Aviators. They break from the huddle. Quarterback is Mason Motter. Running back Logan Flatt. We have a delay while we get everybody lined up, ready to go now as Modern gets a pass out here on the right flat, gets a pass out to his wide receiver. That's number 4. That is Jack Mitchell. Jack Mitchell gets the pass, gets it to the Piqua side of the field. Good for a first down for Vandalia Butler. Starting with a pass play, Bob.
Yeah, again, Mason Motter, quarterback, has good stats coming into this ball game. And they're lined up what they call that pistol formation.
Again, like Sydney, the players look towards the sideline for the play and do not go into a huddle. Motter, pass on the other side this time. Back again to number 4, and that is Jack Mitchell. Jack Mitchell this time gets to about the 41-yard line, good for another first down. So a pass to the near side to Jack Mitchell, good for a first down. A pass on the left side to Jack Mitchell for another first down.
Vandalia has a player down. Is it number 5?
It might be 5 or 15, Bob. I can't tell either. So both teams now huddling around their respective head coaches while the injured Aviator gets attention from the Vandalia Butler medical staff. 2 passes, Bob, both to the near side, both resulting in a first down. Could we see an aerial circus on our hands here tonight?
Well, I tell you, Mason Motter, the quarterback for Vandalia, has really brought some very lofty stats into this ball game. He's passed for over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. He has a nice touch on the football. He makes good decisions, and he's a good quarterback. To me, it looked like Piqua just wasn't in a position to cover either one of those passes out into the flat. They couldn't get a defender over to that point of attack quickly enough.
Brian Johnson, number 13, was the injured Aviator. He goes to the sideline. 1st and 10, the ball resting on the Piqua 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Motter brings them out. He's in the pistol formation. This time he's going to hand it off to Logan Flatt. Logan Flatt gets some running room. He's going to have about 6, maybe 7 yards. Let's see where they spot the football. Micah Carnes gets off the bottom of the stack for the Indians.
Well, Vandalia's been spreading the Indians out, and they came back and handed the ball to Logan Flatt, another athlete, very skilled running back who really took it up inside the tackle.
2nd down and 8. Getting a play from the sideline. Motter back to pass, going to go to the end zone. Well beyond the outstretched arms of the receiver, goes into the end zone, bounces harmlessly to the turf. Going to be 3rd down and 2.
Trying to catch the Indians asleep out on the perimeter there. 3rd down and 2. You know, teams like to do that. They like to throw on, instead of running for the 1st down, try to come up with a pass, catch the defense asleep. Didn't happen.
Uh-oh, somebody jumped offside for the Indians, I believe. Let's see if that was the call, and it was. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against Piqua. That's going to give the Vandalia Butler Aviators a 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball on about the 28-yard line of the Indians. Motter in the pistol formation, gets the snap. Then while he was waiting for the snap, decides to peek over to the left sideline for a play. Back to pass again. Over the middle. Has a pass intended for number 14, Court Justice. Court couldn't come up with it. It falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Court should have caught that football. He ran this slant pattern coming across the middle, and the ball was right there. Just couldn't hold it in his hands. It was right. Couldn't be thrown any better. Well thrown ball. He has to catch that.
Mason Motter looks pretty comfortable in that tailback position, Bob.
Yeah, he's a guy who can take care of the football. Very skilled, as I said. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns, over 1,100 yards, so he can get the job done.
2nd down and 10. Hand off to Logan Flatt. Logan Flatt over the left side. Got a few yards. Let's give him 2. Let's call it 3rd down and 8. Ooh, that's being generous. Let's call it 3rd down and 9.
Somewhat of a draw play. Good job by the Indians converging on Logan Flatt to take him down. So now Vandalia is faced with a 3rd and long.
Now let's see what the Butler Aviators decide to do with the football. Motter back to pass, scrambling to the right side. Over on the Piqua side, he gets the pass over to number 25, Ryan Martin. Ryan Martin gets it, but I'm not so sure he did any more than get back to the line of scrimmage.
No, good coverage by number 20, Jim Congdon, for the Indians. Yeah, that I don't think he gained an inch on that play. So the Butler Aviators going to be faced with a 4th down and 9 now at the Piqua 27-yard line.
Motter looking to the sideline for a play from the coaching staff, their head coaching staff, headed by Nathan Hyatt, who's in his 2nd season as the mentor with the Aviators. Motter back to pass, looking downfield, gets it off and gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line, but it falls incomplete. It was intended for number 25, Ryan Martin, so the Indians defense holds. The Indians get the ball 1st and 10.
Well, after a few rocky first 4 or 5 plays, the Indians stepped up and made some plays defensively and stopped Vandalia inside their own territory. Now the Indians will take over on offense and see what they could do. See if they come out trying to establish the run, or as they've been doing in the past, throwing a lot of footballs downfield.
Austin Davis brings him up to the line of scrimmage. He's over center. Hand off to Ben Smeezing. Ben Smeezing's twists and turns, gets us above the 30. He's going to get probably an extra yard, 2 at the 31. Looks like he got the better part of 5. Let's call it 2nd down and 5.
I'll tell you, Ben Smeezing was hit, rolled off, spun off, just kept moving and picked up an extra yard or 2 on his own.
Again, Davis over center. This time to Davon Brown. Davon Brown over the right side. Oh, Bob. He didn't have much luck. In fact, got back to the line of scrimmage. And if he got more than a yard, I'd be surprised. I don't believe he did. Going to be third down. Let's call it third down and a long, long 3.
Yeah, Vandalia shut the gap coverage in that play. Indians just couldn't find any daylight to run through. And now they're faced with a third down.
Davis not out of the shotgun. He's over center. Pass to the left side, trying to get one to Hayden Shrub. Hayden Shrub couldn't come down with it. It falls incomplete, so that's going to bring up a fourth down for the Indians, and that's going to bring on the punting team.
Yeah, ball was thrown behind Hayden Shrub. Hayden couldn't have caught that. He was, I think, a quick pass on target would have resulted in a first down, but the ball was thrown behind him.
Micah Carnes going to kick it away for Piqua, standing on his own 20-yard line. The kick. Nice kick, going to go all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Picked up by number 20, that's Dalton Sharp. Dalton Sharp going to go all the way inside Piqua territory, well inside Piqua territory, down inside the 30-yard line. So Dalton Sharp took that punt and got Vandalia Butler in beautiful field position with 7:52 left to go in the first quarter. Still nobody on the board.
Nick Karn made a touchdown-saving tackle that time. The punter stayed back as a safety on the punt team, and I'll tell you, Dalton Sharp looked like he has some wheels on him.
Yes, he did.
He caught the football and just came straight up the field. Good team speed, and Vandalia's going to take a timeout.
Timeout on the part of the Aviators. Just a reminder that our proud sponsors include Gonzo Radio, America's Best Choice Windows and More, Miami Valley Steel, East of Chicago Pizza, Moore's Heating and Cooling Comfort Systems, Mulligan's Pub, Dick Lumpkins, Piqua Harley Davidson, Unity National Bank, among a bunch of other sponsors, and we'll be recognizing them during the course of this telecast. Right now the ball belongs to the Vandalia Butler Aviators, and they are deep in Piqua territory. They've got it 1st and 10.
I'll tell you, the Butler offense, I've been impressed with it, that pistol offense. Now, you know, some call it the pistol offense, an old version of the I formation. Somebody said just jazzed it up a little bit, added a few wrinkles to it. But I'll tell you, it looks like it's the type of thing that Vandalia adapts to very well. And they have some good people, good personnel to fill those slots. I like the quarterback. I like the tailback. And I'm not sure if Brian Johnson, number 13, ever got back in the ball game. He went out injured. He's their leading receiver with 15 receptions.
He's the 6'5" receiver, yes. Motter this time hands it off to Flatt. Flatt's got more than enough running room. He's inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 11-yard line, and another first down. Nope, let's say the 12-yard line. It's going to be first down and 10. Let's call it the 12. Boy, he's got good speed too, Bob.
Oh yeah, he's skilled back. He started out in a sweep motion and cut back against, came back inside, and there was a lot of running room, as noticed by where the ball is.
Flatt right up the middle, going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow, handoff to Flatt right up the middle and finds the end zone with 7:24 left to go in the first quarter. Bob, this first quarter right now, it's all Vandalia Butler.
Oh yeah, they've controlled the football and done a lot of good things offensively and shut Piqua down on the defense. So the Aviators off to a good start here.
Sutton Skapik is going to try the PAT. The kick, it's up, it is good. 7:24 left in the first quarter. Vandalia Butler Aviators open up the ball game with a touchdown. They have a 7-0 advantage. Bob, I don't know, it's a little early, but that was a pretty impressive drive that started with the punt return.
Well, as I said in the pregame, Vandalia's not a bad football team. They have some good people. They have 3 skilled offensive people. and the quarterback, the tailback, and the wide receiver, and they can make plays. They can hurt you running the ball. They can hurt you throwing the ball. Quarterback is a very smooth operator. He makes good decisions. As I said before, Logan Flatt, he can run. He hits the hole, turns it upfield, runs the daylight. Just an outstanding football player, I think.
That offense doesn't look like a 3-4 team, does it?
No, but I said, their schedule was not a walk in the park by any means. They played a Massillon team that's 6-1, a Division I, not Massillon, Washington. This is Massillon Jackson, who is 6-1. They played Wilmington, who's a good football team. They played Northmont. So those three teams are as good as any that you can find to play around here.
The record might be quite deceiving.
I would say underline quite.
Sutton Scapic's going to kick it off for the Aviators. Deep for Piqua. Smeezing. Davon Brown and Hayden Shrub. Waiting for the whistle. Here's the whistle, and here's Scapic's kick. Squib kick. Going to go down, picked up by Davon Brown. Davon trying to come to the Piqua side of the field. Gets to about the 27-yard line before he's dropped by number 84. And that 84 is Evan McKinney. 1st and 10 for the Indians. And right now the Indians need to answer, Bob.
Need to come back, need to answer that score. I think that they can. I think the Indians have the offense to do it. They just have to get it in gear and start moving along here. Ben Smeezing, outstanding running back. Devon Brown, good running back. Austin Davis can throw the football. Those guys need to take over here.
Davis over center. Sprinting out to the right side. He's got Hyde open on the right side. He's going to go down the sideline. He's into Vandalia territory. The old tight end play, Bob.
Yep, they like Derek Height. What Derek will do is, just a real easy block, just enough to slow down the defensive end, and then release at the line of scrimmage and get out in the open. And Austin Davis kind of bootlegged. The backs were going left. Austin came around to the right. Derek was wide open, took it down to the Vandalia 31-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Indians. This time Austin Davis is going to operate out of the shotgun.
Good job following the ball, man.
Back to pass, looking to the right side. Threw it over the outstretched arms of Hayden Shrub. Not one of Austin's better efforts. Far too high for Hayden Shrub to pull in.
No, he couldn't have caught that if he was on a ladder. That baby was launched, and Hayden just didn't have a shot at that. So the Indians are faced now with a 2nd and 10. Good field position, though, for the Indians, deep in Vandalia territory. They got to cash this in.
7 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Vandalia on the board. They have a 7-0 advantage. Austin Davis out of the shotgun. Pitch out to Ben Smeezy. Ben's trying to go around the right side. Gets a couple, but not very many. Let's see where they spot the football as he's driven out of bounds on the Vandalia Butler side of the field. I think we can give him 3. Let's call it 3rd down and 7.
He ran it into the short side of the field. Just didn't have enough room nor enough blocking ahead of him there. Vandalia moved to the point of attack and shut that down. So the Indians obviously are in 4-down territory here, but they need some positive yardage here on 3rd down.
This time Austin Davis is over center. Wide out to the top side and to the near side. Handoff this time to Ben Smeezing. Ben tries the left side, gets to about the 26-yard line. Going to be 4 or 5 yards probably short of the 1st down. Let's call it 4th down. Does he have 5? Let's call it 4th down and 5.
A little misdirection play, but Vandalia adapted. Linebackers flew over and got their hats on the football. Jack Akers, their leading tackler, led the charge. Also, Dolan Fultz, outside backer, came up and put a hit on Smeezing.
Possession play for the Indians right here. Austin Davis over center. He's going to pass. looking down to the right side, tried to find Hayden Shrub, but Caden couldn't bring it in just a little bit high on the sideline. So that's going to turn the ball back over to the Aviators. So the Aviators' defense is also pretty impressive, Bob.
Yeah, a little sideline pattern by Hayden. I think if you talk to him after the game, he'll tell you, I should have caught that pass.
So the Aviators have the football. Got it on their own 27-yard line. Motter. He bends over like he's going to get the snap. Then all of a sudden he stands straight up and looks to the sideline. Now he's going to get the snap. Going to hand it off to Flatt. Flatt's got some running room. Flatt's going to have enough, not about 7 yards, I think, before he's dropped in there by a host of blue jersey. Boy, he's got quick acceleration, Bob.
He sure does. Gets the football, and he knows which direction. He turns it upfield and does a good job of finding a hole. Tell you, right now that Vandalia offensive line playing very well, creating some running space for Logan Flatt.
2nd down and 3. Motter. Going to pass to the Piqua side of the field. Gets it over to number 13. That's Brian Johnson, who's back in the ball game. Bryant takes it over the 40, down to about the 42. Looks like it's going to be good for, and it is, another first down for the Aviators.
I'll tell you, the Indians is struggling to pass coverage. Vandalia is throwing the ball too easily to their receivers, and as a result, they're just moving it down the field.
And combining it with Flat up the middle, pretty good combination.
Oh, no question about that.
1st and 10 for the Aviators. They've got it on their own 43-yard line. I didn't see anybody call timeout, Bob, but both teams are huddled around their respective head coaches. Somebody called timeout, or do we have an injury on the field? I think we must have a timeout.
Hey, Micah Karn came off. He may have been, he was
So
down.
it's an injury timeout, I think, Bob.
He was down in front of the bench, and with everybody standing there, we couldn't see him on the field.
Okay, so now both teams are ready. Here come the Aviators out. 1st and 10 for Butler. Motter back to pass, far sideline, gets it over to his receiver. I think that was Brian Johnson on the far side. Looks like he got about, let's give him 6. No, I don't believe it was Johnson. I believe it was Dalton Sharp.
Yeah, number 4.
Oh, number 4?
I think it was
either
4,
one
Jack
then, Bob.
Mitchell.
Number 4, Jack Mitchell.
Yeah.
So let's give him 6 yards, 2nd down and 4. Motter's been on the mark, Bob. Motter again. This time he's going to hand it off to Logan Flatt. Logan Flatt not having any luck up the middle. In fact, might have lost about a yard. Piqua defense was equal to that one.
Did a nice job, the Indian defense, shutting down the running lanes there. Number 20, Jim Congdon, came up, made a hit. Had a little help from his buddies.
3rd down and 4 for the Aviators.
Big play here for the Indians. Can hold here, force a punt, get the ball back.
Aviators up to the line of scrimmage. Motter back to pass to the sideline to Mitchell. Mitchell's got the pass, going to go to about the 44-yard line. Looks like it might be good for another first down for the Aviators, Bob.
Yep, they're moving it
Boy,
off.
that sideline pass has been good for the Aviators here in the early going.
Well, the way Piqua defends the pass, the linebacker has a hard time getting out to cover. If they put 2 men, put twins out or 2 men to one side, the linebacker's got a long way to go. Now the Indians have covered the wide side of the field, put a linebacker out on the slot man.
Motter this time to Flatt. Flatt is trying to get loose, couldn't do it. Gets a yard or 2. Brought down by Micah Carnes. And number 57, that's Grant Toombs. 2nd down. Let's call it 2nd down and 8. Motter. Back to pass again. On the far side, trying to find a receiver, couldn't do it. It falls incomplete, intended for number 25, and that's Ryan Martin.
Good coverage by Jim Congdon, number 20 for the Indians. He was right at the point and just batted that ball away. So now Vandalia is faced with a 3rd and long at the Piqua 42.
2:38 left to go, first quarter. Vandalia Butler 7, Piqua nothing.
Vandalia waits the ball play called from the sideline. Then they jump into their formation, and they may get another adjustment here. I'm not. Sometimes they adjust, sometimes they don't. This time they didn't.
Motter scrambles out to the left side, trying to find somebody on the far side. I believe that's number 4 again. If that's number 4, that's Jack Mitchell. Nope, they said it was Court Justice. 14, not 4. Okay, another first down for the Aviators.
Not very good coverage by the Indians on that. Seemed like the defender just almost waited for the Butler receiver to catch the football, then came up and made the hit.
Ball resting now on the Piqua 29-yard line. Motter hands it off to Flatt. Flatt tries the right side, gets a couple, but that's just about all he gets. Let's see where they spot it.
Ryan Martin, your ball carrier.
Excuse me, Ryan Martin was the ball carrier. Let's give him 2, 2nd down and 8. Clock's running with 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Motter with the snap. Going back to pass. Going to try the end zone. Looking for number 13, who couldn't hold on to it. Just about got number 13, who was Brian Johnson. Had his hands on it, Bob, but pretty well covered. It falls incomplete.
The Indian defenders did a nice job back there. He had a touchdown, I think. If he holds the football, it's a touchdown. But it got jarred out of his hands, and I think it was maybe McKeegan Kuhn, who was one of the defenders for Piqua, came over and put a hit on him.
Aviators up to the line of scrimmage. Clock stopped with 1:49 left in the first quarter. Aviators with a 7-0 advantage. Motter on the sideline pass this time. Again, this is to Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson gets inside the 20. Ooh, awfully close to a first down, Bob, or is it a first down?
I think he's a little short.
I think he's about a yard short.
Yep.
4th down and 1.
Number 23, Ben Schmiesing. Fourth down for the Aviators.
Last minute and a half of the first quarter. I guess you have to say this is a big play for both teams, Bob.
Indians need to hold, but with a guy like Logan Flatt running the football, it's not too difficult for them to pick up 1 yard.
Let's see what they decide to do. Now we're going to have a timeout. This time the timeout is by Piqua. Some more of our fine sponsors: Mulligan's Pub, Dick Lumpkins, Piqua Harley Davidson, Unity National Bank, the Miami Valley Center Mall here in Piqua, Going Postal, Shelby County Collectibles in the Miami Valley Center Mall, Beppo Uno, Brownlee Ray Realty, Town and Country Furniture, Frank Fullenkamp, Frenchtown Trailer and Sales, and the Jewelry Barn. Our fine sponsors bringing you this telecast. Fourth down and 1.
Situation like this, defense has to be aware of either a long count or a hard count to try to draw the defense off sides. So, and maybe one of the things they're talking about right now, or we're just going to give the ball to Logan Flatt and let him power it up inside.
Flatt isn't real big, Bob, 180 pounds, but he's got pretty good acceleration and runs low to the ground, I think.
Nice pad level.
Yeah.
Good speed. Just a good football player. Good football sense. He scored 12 touchdowns this year, almost 900 yards rushing. He's a good one.
Both teams now on the playing surface. One of the Butler Aviators tripped one of the others. He went down on the turf. We haven't even snapped the ball yet. Here we go. 4th and 1. Big play for both teams. Okay, Flat gets the ball, just like you said, and boy, he powers it in for the first down, Bob, awfully close to the 15-yard line.
You know, we talk about that term, be your own blocker, and I think Logan Flat fits into that role very well. He doesn't go down with an arm tackle. If you hit him, you better put a shoulder and a hat on him and drive through him, because he's going to drive forward for extra yardage.
1st and 10 on the 17 of Piqua. Motter looks to the sideline. Gets the play. Hand off again. I think this is to Logan Flat again. Logan Flat gets inside the 15-yard line. Let's give him 3. Let's call it 2nd down and 7. They keep driving around, Bob. This first quarter has been a very impressive one if you're just viewing the Vandalia Butler Aviators for the first time, which of course we are. Motter back to pass into the end zone. Got number 13 for a touchdown. Hit number 13, Brian Johnson, for the TD as the quarter ended. Bob, this is not a good situation.
No, it's not. And we talk about Vandalia being a pretty good football team, and they're displaying that right now.
Sutton Skapik going to try to make it a 14-0 game. Kick is fumbled by the holder. He's going to be down, so it's going to end up being a 13-0 game at the end of the first quarter. At the end of that first quarter, the Vandalia Butler Aviators 13, Piqua 0. Bob Luby, that was a quarter that we'd like to forget.
Oh, no question about that. Vandalia just really dominated both sides of the football. I think offensively, they're pushing the Piqua defense around. Vandalia's offensive line creating holes. Mason Motter stepping in there as a quarterback and making plays, making good decisions, throwing the football, been on target. Everything that they've done thus far has been done correctly. So right now they're in charge.
You're watching Piqua High School football on the Indian Nation station. You're home for Piqua Athletics. Let's see what happens as the Indians have a chance to get the football and put something on the scoreboard. Sutton Skapik will kick it for the Aviators. Let's see who's going to go deep for Piqua. Senior night here at Alexander Stadium. All of the seniors in the various sports and activities being recognized in front of this very good crowd from Piqua. Crowd across the way, Bob, rather scant.
Yeah, it's not a big crowd. I'd say, what, 100 and maybe 100 people?
That would be about what I would say is right on the money. But unfortunately, 100 fans and money don't go together.
No.
Waiting now for the Aviators and the Indians to come out onto the playing surface. As we mentioned earlier, this ball game is one of the Thursday night TV games, and some of the long timeouts are dictated by our friends in the television booth. Bob, it looks to me like the Indians are going to have to put something on the offensive side. We certainly wouldn't want to get behind by 3 touchdowns to this ball club.
No.
Because the defense is pretty stellar as well as the offense being explosive.
The Indians need to answer now. They need to get one score on the board because Vandalia's offense is just taking it to the Piqua defense right now. The Piqua defense is struggling. Can't shut down the running game or the passing game of Vandalia.
The play calling on the Vandalia side has certainly kept the Piqua kids on the edge as well.
Yeah, it keeps the defense off balance, and you have to give credit to that offensive line of Vandalia. They're knocking people back off the football and creating running lanes.
Let's see what happens as number 12 Sutton Scapik gets ready to kick it off to Piqua. Deep for Piqua, Hayden Shrub, Davon Brown, and Ben Schmeezing. Here comes Scapik's kick. A squib kick all the way down to the 30 to the 25-yard line. Covered there by number 37 for the Indians, and that would be McKagan Kuhn. So now the Indians have the ball, 1st and 10. They trail 13-0. Opening offensive play of the second quarter here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field on senior night.
Indians need to establish a running game, have not done much at all running the football, and typically when you don't run well, it's harder to pass. So they need to knock some people back off the line and establish some running lanes.
Davis brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Ben Schmeezing. Ben off left tackle. Ben's going to get to the 30-yard line. Looks like he's going to pick up about half as many as they needed for the first down. Let's call it 2nd down and 5.
Ben did a nice job plowing shoulder, head into the defenders and picking up that yardage. Ben's a good runner. They just need to block a little bit for him.
2nd down. Wideouts to the top side and to the near side. Austin Davis over center. Pitch out to Davon Brown. Davon Brown got some running room, gets around the right side, gets some daylight, gets it above the 40-yard line. Got to be well beyond the stakes. 1st and 10, Piqua.
Nice job, a little pitch sweep. Davon Brown got out on the perimeter, turned it upfield, did a nice job against that 44 defense of Vandalia. You know, typically, you look at Vandalia's defense, they're ranked 15th in the league. So they're not a stellar defense coming into this ball game, but they played like it thus far.
1st and 10 for the Indians. Ball resting on their own 42-yard line. Austin Davis on the far side gets it over to Davon Brown. Davon Brown picks off the pass and is going to have enough for a first down and well beyond that. Nice second effort by Davon Brown. Got about 13 or 14, some of it on his very own.
Devon's a playmaker. You got to get the ball in his hands and let him make some plays. Quick, fast, can just make people miss. All the things you want in a receiver or a running back.
Good for a first down for the Indians. .35 left to go, second quarter. Indians trail 13-0. Austin Davis. Back to pass, looking to the sideline. Gets it to Davon Brown. Davon picks it up and gets, not very much, maybe a yard or two. They had that one pretty well covered, Bob.
Indians had 4 receivers out to this side, and I'm not sure if the role of the other 3 was to block, but they didn't do a very good job of that. I don't know if they tried to run off the defenders or block them, but Devon got the 1.5 yards on his own.
2nd down. Austin Davis over center. Hand off to Ben Schmeezing. Ben's got a little running room. Boy, that didn't open up for much. Now the ball. Oh, he got by those. Oh, what a nice effort by Ben Schmeezing. I had him tackled at the 40-yard line, and he was able to power his way inside the 35. Good enough for a Piqua first down. Great effort by Ben Schmazing.
That's a 1-2 thing. I agree with you. I thought they were going to blow the play dead right where the pile was, and all of a sudden, boom, I see a blue jersey coming out and plowing straight ahead down to the 34-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Indians. They're on the 34-yard line of the Butler Aviators. Handoff this time to Davon Brown. Davon Brown tries right tackle. Got a couple. Let's give him 2. Let's call it 2nd down and 8. Clock running with 9 minutes left to go in the first half. The Indians trail 13 to zip. Austin Davis over center. Wideouts to the top side and to the near side. He's going to go back to pass. Looking towards the end zone. Looking for a receiver.
There's a flag.
Flag on the play.
He was interfered with.
That has to be pass interference, Bob.
Yeah, he was. You could see his arm, the defender's arm, came over the back of the Piqua receiver. I'm trying to think.
Owen Toops is who it was, I believe, number 15, Bob.
Okay, I think you're right. It was. And that has to, you have to call that.
There was too much contact there to ignore.
Yep.
So let's see where they spot the football.
It's from the line of scrimmage. So
that's going to be a first down for the Indians. Let's see where they spot it. Going to go down to about the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Now they have a chance to put something on the scoreboard. 8.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Davis in the shotgun. Shadowed by Schmazing and Brown. Back to pass. Looking into the end zone. Almost hit Hayden Shrub. I believe it was number 6. Let's see if we can find that. Yep, Hayden Shrub cut over, but wasn't able to come up with the throw. Was just a little bit low, but Hayden wasn't able to come up with it. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, well thrown ball. I think, I'm sure, again, Hayden will say, I probably should have had that one, but the defender was right with Hayden, may have reached in there and dislodged that ball too. I couldn't tell from here.
2nd down and 10 on the 17-yard line. Austin Davis hands it off to Ben Schmazing. Ben tries left tackle. Got into the 15, maybe to the 14 before he stopped. See where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd down, and let's call it 3rd down and 7.
Well, without Comstock, I'm guessing the field goal kicking might be out the window, so this is going to be 4-down territory for the Indians, and maybe it would be anyway.
Davis operating out of the shotgun. Got the snap. Looking into the end zone, trying to find numbers. They got Hayden Shrub for a touchdown. Hayden Shrub got the right there inside the middle of the end zone area and pulled it in for a TD.
Little post pattern by Hayden Shrub off the line of scrimmage, downfield about 7 yards, and cut it right towards the post. Well thrown ball by our quarterback Austin Davis. A nice catch by Hayden Shrub. The Indians get on the board.
Hayden Shrub's going to be doing the PAT work. Micah Carnes is the holder. The kick is up. It is good. 7:39 left to go in the first half. Butler 13, Piqua 7 on the touchdown pass from Austin Davis to Hayden Shrub. Bob, the Indians needed that.
They did what they had to do. They came back and answered that last Vandalia touchdown, put themselves back in a position to get back in the ball game. Now defensively they need a stop, and that's been something that's been pretty difficult for them to do thus far. Vandalia has certainly moved the ball very well against the Indians.
Let's give credit to some of our fine sponsors. Gonzo Radio, radio that listens to you, bringing true classic hits back to Piqua, the Upper Valley, and the world on the internet at gonzaradiopiqua.com. America's Best Choice Windows and More. American proud, American made. Start savings today. Call them at 937-570-6785. Miami Steel, a U.S. Steel Service Center. We do what we have to do and get a first-hand look at the steel culture we strive to achieve at Miami Valley Steel right here in Piqua at 201 Fox Drive. East of Chicago Pizza. Pizza done right. Proudly serving Piqua at 1560 Covington Avenue. Morris Heating and Cooling Comfort Systems. Proudly serving Piqua, Troy, and the surrounding communities. Smarter solutions for your home. Locally owned and operated at 401 South College Street in Piqua since 1993. Glad you've joined us on this Thursday night from Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. The Indians with a big touchdown from Austin Davis to Hayden Shrub to make it 13-7. Waiting now for Hayden Shrub to kick it away. Logan Flatt and Connor Hendricks are deep for the Aviators.
Shrub kicking for the Indians.
I think he got hurt in that soccer game. He did take a pretty good shot.
Hayden Shrub waiting for the whistle. He's got it, and here's the kick. Low kick, going on the far side.
Sharp on the return.
Sharp, Dalton Sharp takes the kick, gets back to about the 28, 29 yard line, where the Aviators are going to put it in play, 1st and 10.
Good coverage by the Indians. Number 17, Sam Hurden, got down there and made the stop for Piqua.
Now let's see if the Indians can take it away from the Aviators and put another one on the board. 1st and 10. Ball resting on the 29 yard line of the Aviators. Mason Monner is the quarterback. He's got the snap. Hands it off on the far side, on the near side to Logan Flatt. Logan Flatt turns the corner, but we had a flag on the play.
May have seen a hold down there. I don't look like it may have been a hold.
I believe that's, let's see what the call is from the, it's a holding call, going to go against the Aviators. So that's the holding call. Going to place the ball right on the 20 yard line.
Holding is the call going against the Aviators.
Clock stop with 7:27 left to go in the half.
Well, that helps the defense. Now they're faced with a 1st and 20. So that gives the defense a little wiggle room in there. They can give up 3 yards or 4 yards.
Motter. He's going to try to go deep. Oh, way! Intercepted! Intercepted on the far side. I think that's Bushnell, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Jacob Bushnell.
Jacob Bushnell intercepts one at the midfield. So the turnover is going to give it right back to the Indians' offense. Nice defensive work. Although, Bob, as soon as that ball left Motter's hands, you knew he had thrown it too far, and Bushnell was there to pick it off.
It looked like Mason Motter was throwing it to Bushnell. It looked like he was part of the pass pattern because it went right to him. It wasn't even a question. I knew the Vandalia receiver wasn't going to get it, and Jacob Bushnell just came over and pulled it in.
So now the Indians have the ball in Aviator territory. 1st and 10. 4 wideouts here to the near side. You don't see that very often. Davis. He's looking to the left side, trying to find Hayden Shrub. Not quite able to do it. Nice defensive work there. Let's see if we can pick up. That's number 21, Bob. Number 21 is Nick Murphy. Ticked that one away from Hayden Shrub. He was pretty well covered, was Hayden Shrub.
It was nice coverage by Murphy, I'll tell you, because Hayden was running that slant pattern again, and Murphy had to knock the ball away without interfering on the catch.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Davis over center. Hands the ball off to Davon Brown. Davon Brown is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Might have been able to get one out of it, but anything beyond one is a little generous. Let's call it 3rd down and 9.
I tell you, Vandalia's linebackers have been playing very well. Jack Akers he's a middle backer. He has 36 tackles this year, 6 forced fumbles. He's a force in there. Jansen Love on that last play, he finds the football and he comes up and he'll lay a helmet on you. So really doing a nice job of shutting down the Indians' running attack.
Whenever there was a junior high home game.
We have a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the field by Piqua. 6:27 left to go in the half. Butler 13, Piqua 7. Glad you joined us tonight on senior night from Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. Bob, let's take a quick peek at next Friday night. The Indians are going to travel to Tip City. Tip City have been playing some pretty good football. Nothing to be ashamed of. It'll be a formidable contest.
Oh, yeah, I think Piqua's last 3 games, including this one, they have some pretty strong opponents. And they're going to have to play well in all 3 games starting right now if they want to put something up on the winning side of the ledger. Tip City played Sydney very well last week, and they have some people. They have some people that can hurt you. The Barhorse kid, the running back, he ran back a kickoff against Sydney, and then his running out of the backfield really hurt Sydney. So Piqua, again, will have a very difficult football game next week.
Both teams ready to go. 3rd down and 8. Ball resting on the 46-yard line. Davis going to look downfield. Corner finds, is that Hayden Shrub?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hayden Shrub. Hayden Shrub likes that sideline pass, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He gets between him and the sideline, and they can't get in between him. And he's tall. He's got good hands. 1st down, Piqua.
Well, he fights you for the football.
Yes, he does.
He's strong enough that he can keep a defender away from him, and if they want to try to get to the ball, they have to interfere with the catch. A nice ball thrown by Austin Davis. Nice catch by Hayden Shrub.
1st and 10, balls on the 33-yard line of the Aviators. Austin Davis has the ball knocked down. Austin was trying to look for Mextroth on the left side, but big number 11, I believe it was, got his hands in front of Austin Davis and knocked it to the ground.
Jake DeMoss, an outside linebacker, not real big, 5'11", but he had those hands up, and it makes it difficult for a quarterback to throw over outstretched arms.
2nd down and 10. Davis this time hands it inside to Brown. Brown gets to the 30-yard line. Going to be 3rd down. Looks like going to be 3rd down. Looks like going to be 3rd down and 7.
I just wanted to know.
3rd down and 7 for the Indians.
I just wanted to make sure.
Clock running with 5:55 left to go in the half. Indians trail 13-7 here on senior night at Alexander Stadium.
Indians have not had a lot of success running the football tonight, and Vandalia's defensive line has really dug in and cut off those running lanes.
Austin Davis is going to operate out of the shotgun. Looking downfield, looking to the right side, trying to find Hayden Shrub again. This time threw over him, and Hayden just couldn't grab that one too high. Falls incomplete.
No, that wasn't even on target.
No.
Hayden couldn't have caught that no matter what. So the Indians now faced with a 4th down. Probably going to have to come back with a pass again. And Austin just has to rein that arm in a little bit and get it back on target.
Clock stopped this time with 5:24 left in the first half. Indians trail 13-7. Big play for the Indians right here.
Colin Rowe comes into the ball game. Number 2, he lines up in a slot to the left.
Back to passes. Austin going to go to the end zone, trying to find Shrub. Shrub's got it! Hayden Shrub got that between 2 defenders for the touchdown. Oh my! Is Hayden Shrub having a night? And that was awfully well thrown by Austin Davis.
Well thrown, caught in traffic. You couldn't draw it up any better than that. That's the way you draw it up on the chalkboard or the smart board, and the Indians just executed. Vandalia, I'm sure defensive backs are saying, hey, what's going on here?
Hayden Shrub going to try to break the tie. The snap. The kick. It's up. It is good. Piqua 14. Vandalia Butler 13 with 5:17 left to go in the first half. Austin Davis to Hayden Shrub. We've heard that twice tonight. Both of them good for touchdowns.
Yep, well thrown balls. Nice catches made by Hayden. And Hayden's kind of doing it all tonight. He's kicking extra points. He's a kickoff man, catching touchdown passes. He said, hey, this senior night at home, I'm going to perform.
And he is having that kind of night. Some of our sponsors, Mulligan's Pub, the only place to go in beautiful downtown Fort Piqua Plaza. Catering and fine cuisine by Chef James Patton. Dick Lumpkins. Whether you have a minor dent or a major reconstruction, including major frame repairs, a simple oil change, or a major mechanical repair, or even if you just locked your keys in your car, the professionals at Lumpkins are committed and ready to deliver their award-winning customer service and quality workmanship. You've heard the catchphrase, very important, very important. Got a bump? Go see Lump. By Piqua Harley Davidson, we promote the passion for motorcycling for our customers and community by providing an exciting and fun experience through integrity-based principles. And by Unity National Bank, your hometown banking solution, 215 North Wayne Street, right here in Piqua. 14-13, the Indians have a 1-point advantage with 5:17 left to go in the half. Bob, it hasn't been terrific, but we certainly have had the 2 big plays from Austin Davis to Hayden Shrub for scores. That's all that matters.
And the Indians, their passing game seems to be more effective in the running game.
Right.
They just can't get untracked with their running game, and that you have to give Vandalia some credit there. That front 4 of theirs and linebackers are really doing a good job. Indian offensive line is going to have to come up and do a little better job of getting off the football and creating some running lanes.
And the defensive backs from Vandalia are asking themselves, what's going on here?
We're getting bombarded. Yeah, passes all over the place, and there's a guy out there that can catch them.
Let's see what happens as Hayden Shrub kicks it away for the Indians.
Logan Flat and Dayton Sharp deep for the Indians.
For the Aviators, Logan Flat and Dalton Sharp waiting for the kick from Hayden Shrub. Low kick all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Looks like it's Dalton Sharp going to bring the ball out to about the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Aviators.
Look, number 40, Matt Blankenship, got down there and got a hand in on that tackle.
14-13 is the score. 5:11 left in the first half. Vandalia Butler's offense has been shut down here these last few possessions, Bob.
Well, they hurt themselves with that interception that last series.
Motter looks to the sideline for the play. From the shotgun to the Piqua side. That's over to Mitchell. Mitchell's got the pass, going to get about 6, maybe 7 yards. Let's call it second down. Let's call it second down. Let's call it second down and 7. They like that sideline pass, Bob.
They did. Karn saw that coming, got over there, and was in a position to make the tackle, but the ball carrier receiver ran by him.
Aviators back to the line of scrimmage. Motter this time hands it off. Oh! Hands it off to Logan Flatt, who is flattened, Bob. No pun intended, at the 40-yard line.
Derek Height just came out of his defensive end position and wrapped up the ball carrier. Just hit him right in his tracks. Logan Flatt couldn't move. Very good play by Derek Height, stopping the Vandalia tailback.
Let's call it 3rd down and 5. Clock's running with 4:10 left to go in the half. Indians with a 14-13 advantage. Motter sprints out to the right side. Gives it on the far side to one of his receivers, I believe. Number 10, and that is number 10 is Jake DeMoss. Jake DeMoss has got enough for a 1st down for the Aviators.
Indians seem to give up that pass play pretty steadily here. That's what's hurting them. Vandalia's be able to throw the football and move it down the field.
Motter this time hits it off to number 35 is Flatt. Flatt goes to the 45-yard line of the Indians. He's going to get, let's call it 3. Let's call it 2. 2nd down and 8. Clock running with 3:20 left to go in the half. Hand off to number 35. Oh, he didn't have a chance, Bob. Met at the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard. Oh, that was a great defensive surge by the Indians. They're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Oh, Derek Height again, I believe.
He was in on that. Yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, Jim Ben Smeezing got in there, but there was no running room at all. It was almost like the Indians knew where the ball was going.
Motter looking to the sideline for the play. Here's that sideline pass, this time again to number 10, Jake DeMoss.
Nice play by Mick Carn there. Came out and read that pass. They've used that 3 or 4 times tonight. They had 3 receivers out to the left side, and Micah just came up and wrapped up the receiver.
They tried the sideline pass one too many times, Bob. That one went nowhere, so it's going to be 4th down, and they're going to have their punter, Sutton Skapik, into the ball game. I'm not so sure, Bob. Could this be the first punt of the night for Vandalia Butler?
Yes, it is.
Low snap. He gets it away. Bouncing at about the 15-yard line. So the Indians are going to have the ball 1st and 10. Defense does the job there. 1:24 left to go in the first half. The Indians clinging to a 14-13 lead.
What's critical here, the Indians don't want to turn the ball over,
right.
Put it on the ground. I'd rather see them be very conservative and not commit some kind of errant play that would give Vandalia outstanding field position and an opportunity to put more points on the board.
Even if it means going to the locker room with a 14-13 advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Bob. Can't make a mistake here. Indians out of the huddle. Davis over center. Pitch out to Davon Brown. Oh, Davon's got some running room. Davon's got lots of running room all the way out to about the 39-yard line. Picked his way through a couple tacklers. Big play for Davon Brown.
Nice job by Devon. Once he gets out on the perimeter and he turns it upfield, gets vertical, he's hard to catch.
1st and 10. Minute 10 left to go in the half. Now the Indians might be smelling a touchdown. Hand off to Ben Smeezing around the left side. Turns, didn't have much luck. Got a couple out of it, that's just about it. Looked like he might be able to turn the corner and couldn't, and Piqua calls a timeout.
Ball carrier, timeout.
Chasing the ball carrier. Penalty stop for the Aviator defense, number 79.
Well, we got a minute. Let's recognize some of our sponsors. The Miami Valley Center Mall here in Piqua, the center of your life. Going postal in the Walmart Shopping Center. Go there for all of your holiday shipping needs. Shelby County Collectibles in the Miami Valley Center Mall. Your one-stop shop for NFL and collegiate sports memorabilia, apparel, and collectibles. Beppo Uno, the finest Italian pizzeria and trattoria in Piqua, Ohio. Tell the Williams family that the Indian Nation Station sent you. Brownlee Realty at 611 North Main Street. Town and Country Furniture at 125 West Water Street. Frank Fullenkamp, Frenchtown Trailer and Sales in Versailles. And the Jewelry Barn on Russia Versailles Road in Russia. Let's make your ideas come to life. Piqua to the line of scrimmage. 55 seconds left, first half. Davis, back to pass, over the middle, hands it, gets it off to Ben Schmeezing. Ben Schmeezing over midfield, down to about the 43-yard line, and immediately Piqua calls another timeout. We don't have too many times that we've seen Austin Davis go into Ben Schmeezing, but that time they did. They did not call timeout. Clock continues to run with 40 seconds left. Davis again, back to pass. Looking to the left side. Throws it well over the head of number 2, Colin Rowe.
It looked like
Did stop the clock, Bob.
It looked like he had number 15, Owen Toops, open on that side, but again, the ball was just overthrown. The only good thing out of that, it does stop the clock, as you mentioned, with 35 seconds left in the first half. Indians ahead 14-13.
Any points on the scoreboard before halftime would be a big bonus for the Indians, Bob. Davis, out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Here this sideline to Hayden Shrub again. Hayden's got the ball inside the 35.
And I think he's got a first down. I think he just
first down.
Extended.
Clock stopped with 29 seconds.
He got out of bounds.
Might have been out of bounds.
Penalty coverage for the Aviators, number 20, Dayton.
Hayden loves that sideline pass, Bob, and boy, he excels in that position.
No, he did not get it. The line judge was standing in a position where he was giving him first down yardage, but I guess the other official with the ball said, no, that's not where it goes.
Indians up to the line of scrimmage. Austin Davis from the shotgun. Looking to the left side. Trying to find tries to find, I believe he tried to find Owen Toops to the far side. Owen couldn't come up with it, falls incomplete.
It was tipped. A Vandalia defender got his hands up, and the ball was tipped, but it was tipped right towards Owen. But that's a hard thing to do, catch a tipped ball when you're ready to catch the original pass.
Clock stop with 25 seconds left. Fourth down and 1. Davis over center. Hands off to Ben Schmeezing. Ben goes over the left side, on inside the 30. Got to get the first down. I think that time, the Indians did take one of their timeouts. So the ball's resting at the 29-yard line of the Aviators with 19 seconds left. And boy, would the Indians like to put something on the scoreboard, Bob.
It'd be nice to go in with another score. Not only would it be the point factor, but it gives you momentum. You go in at halftime coming off a touchdown. Boy, that's an uplifting feeling for the Piqua football team. Then they come out in the second half. They'll get the kick to start the second half because they deferred in the first half.
Let's see what Bill Neese decides to do. Austin Davis going to go to the shotgun. 19 seconds left. First half. Davis back to pass. Now he decides he couldn't find a receiver. Takes the ball to the 30-yard line where he's dropped.
They tackle near the line of scrimmage.
Let's try one more play.
Going to try to get one more play out of it. They must be out of timeouts, and I believe they are.
They spiked it.
Austin Davis spikes the ball, stops the clock with 3 seconds left to go. So there's one play, Bob. And Bob, would I be surprised to see Austin Davis trying to find Hayden Shrub?
And who do you think Vandalia Butler is going to be looking for to
That's
get the
exactly
football?
what they're thinking
Yeah.
too. This might be the play for somebody else to get in on the act.
Yeah, send somebody out of the backfield or, who knows? Maybe, look for Hayden downfield because he's taken the ball away from people before when they knew the ball was coming.
Davis back to pass. Going to go to the end zone. Let's see who's down there. A lot of defenders. Almost picked off by one of the Piqua. That was Hayden Shrub, but he couldn't get it. And the clock expires at the half. It's Piqua 14, Butler 13 here on senior night at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field.
Stay right there. That's where I want you guys at with band performances, all right?
Bob, earlier we had a chance to watch the football players introduce the senior football players and their parents. We'd like to make sure that we do that recognition as well. One of the seniors is Devon Brown. Devon was accompanied tonight by Michelle Scott and Deshaun Brown, his parents. Jacob Bushnell, accompanied by Sarah and Matt Bushnell, his mom and dad. Ben Bynum, accompanied by Chrissy and Brad Bynum, his mother and father. Rob Comstock, who was not in uniform because of an injury. Rob accompanied tonight by Christy and Robert Comstock, his mother and father. Jim Congdon, accompanied by Teresa and Jim Congdon, his mother and father. Austin Davis, accompanied by his parents, Audrey and Brian Davis. Sam Herndon, accompanied by Michelle and Michael Herndon, his parents. Deshaun Hester, accompanied by Beth and Jerome Hester, his mother and dad. Derek Height, accompanied by Tori and Daryl Height, his mother and father. Holden Yant, accompanied by mom and dad, Bev and Doug Yant. Brent Lemon, accompanied by Trish and Russell Lemon, his mother and father. K.O. Mextroth, accompanied by Kelly and Jim Mextroth, his mom and dad. Colton Meyer, accompanied by Ginger and Ken Meyer, his parents. Raj Patel, accompanied by Shilpa and Bob Patel, his mom and dad. Alex Phillips, accompanied by his mom and dad, Enan and John Phillips. Ben Schmeezing, accompanied by his mom and dad, Paul and Chris Schmeezing. And Hayden Shrub, accompanied by his dad and mom, Liz and Aaron Shrub. Those were the senior football players and their parents honored here tonight before the game. It's time now for the halftime ceremony. Bob, let's talk a little bit about the game, and then we'll go to the field and let our viewers hear the halftime festivities of the bands. And the first band on the field tonight will be from Vandalia Butler. A quick observation about the first half.
Well, the first quarter belonged to Vandalia. They completely dominated, I think, on both sides of the football. The Indians came out in the second quarter and came alive a little bit behind the passing of Austin Davis and the pass catching of Hayden Shrub. Converted 2 touchdowns, started to run the ball a little better, and maybe play defense a little better. Sometimes it takes the Indians a quarter or two to get cranked up, but I think that's what happened. And the Indians had the ball here as time ran out at the end of the first half in Vandalia Butler territory, trying to convert for another score, but they came up a little short. But the Indians will receive the opening kickoff in the second half. Hopefully they can continue the momentum that they picked up here in the second quarter into the second half.
14-13, the Indians have a 1-point lead. Right now we're going to take a break so you can enjoy the band from Vandalia Butler High School and the band to follow from Piqua High School. We'll be back in just a little while.
entitled The Scarecrow. Using the Scarecrow character from The Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow tells his story on how he journeyed to the Emerald City.
This is a story. This is my story. I am the Scarecrow. I stand here at this yellow brick road as a solemn guard through the rain, wind, and storms. I guard this land from the creatures I fear the most. For I am the Scarecrow. I am a captain to this land. I must travel there.
Alexander Stadium. It's halftime here on Seniors Night. The Indians own a 14-13 halftime lead. Now with some halftime statistics, Bob Luby. Bob?
Okay, we'll give you the score again. Piqua 14, Butler 13 at halftime. Running down the stats, first downs, Butler had 11 first downs, Piqua had 11. Rushing and yards, Butler rushed 13 times for 52 yards. Piqua rushed 15 times for 77 yards. Passing yards, Butler was 12 for 18, 103 yards, 1 interception. Piqua was 8 for 19, no interceptions, 141 yards. Total offensive plays, Butler ran 31 plays for 155 yards. Piqua ran 34 plays for 218 yards. You know, most of that yardage for Piqua came in the second quarter because the first quarter the Indians just were very stagnant offensively. Punts, Vandalia Butler punted once for a 29-yard average. Piqua punted once for a 40-yard average. Penalties, Vandalia Butler penalized twice for 20 yards. Piqua once for 5 yards. Possession time, almost equal. Vandalia had the football for 9 minutes and 18 seconds. Piqua had the ball for 9 minutes and 31 seconds. Individual stats, rushing, Logan Flatt rushed 12 times for 50 yards, average 4.2 for carry. Ryan Martin rushed once for 2 yards. For Piqua, Devon Brown rushed 6 times for 41 yards, 6.8 average per carry. Ben Smeezing rushed 8 times for 37 yards, a 4.6 yard per carry. Passing, Butler, Mason Motter, 12 for 18, 1 interception, 103 yards. Austin Davis, 8 for 18, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Austin had the 2 touchdowns, but it's not a sterling performance for Austin throwing the football tonight. 8 for 18, that's not his typical night at the track, so to speak. Pass receiving, Jack Mitchell for Butler, 5 receptions, 46 yards. Brian Johnson, 3 receptions, 30 yards. Jake DeMoss, 2 receptions, 14 yards. Court Justice, 1 reception, 13 yards. For Piqua, Hayden Shrub, 4 receptions, 69 yards. Devon Brown, 2 receptions, 15 yards. Derek Height, 1 reception, 42 yards. Ben Smeezing, 1 reception, 15 yards. Punting, Butler, Sutton Skapik, 1 punt, 29 yards. For Piqua, Micah Karn, 1 punt, 40 yards. So really, statistics a little different than I thought they would be. Piqua, 218 total yards to Vandalia Butler's 155. As I think back in that ball game, early on, Butler really controlled everything. But as I said earlier, the Indians came back in the second half and put some yardage on the field here and on the board, and they're going to get the football to start the second half.
Yeah, Bob, it was basically 2 halves, even though there were 2 quarters. First quarter belonged to Vandalia. Second quarter belonged to the Indians. The Indians did a nice job of holding down Logan Flatt the second quarter as well.
Yeah, they did, and he started off like a house of fire, but he ended up with a total of 50 yards, and the 2 Piqua rushing people that ran the football, Devon Brown had 41, Ben Smeezing had 37. Of course, Logan Flatt carried the ball 12 times, and he had 1 rushing touchdown. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Indians do defensively, I think, in the second half, how they're going to try to shut down that Vandalia pass offense, because that hurt them a little bit the first half. And secondly, can they control the line of scrimmage to open up the running game a little more?
So it's, again, one of those cases where both teams realize that with a 14-13 ball game, it's anybody's contest, and that's why this second half should be very, very exciting. Bob, this 14-13 game, 14-13, 1 point difference, no big surprise to either one of us.
No, not at all. I think both teams. I felt Vandalia coming into the ball game was a pretty good football team, and even though their record didn't show it, I think it was a little deceiving. They'd played a pretty tough schedule and played some good people along the way. So as a result, you played Northmont, you played Massillon Jackson, and you play Wilmington. You're going to run into some pretty good football players. And I think that's what happened. So they came ready to play tonight. And the Indians, of course, on senior night, they want to go out in a blaze of glory here. They don't want to go out with a loss. So let's see what they do the second half, how they're going to attack this Vandalia defense. And I think, my guess is they want to try to establish that run game.
Bob, I think a score as they get the ball in this second half psychologically would be huge for the Indians.
Oh, yeah, no question about that. Plus, it shows that especially if they get it running the football, that they're going to take over the line of scrimmage.
Sutton Skapik's going to kick it off for the Aviators. We've got Schmeezing, Brown, and Hayden Shrub deep for Piqua. Let's see who they kick it to as we start this second half of play from Alexander Stadium. Squib kick, who's going to pick it up? It's going to be Ben Schmeezing. Ben Schmeezing on the left side. He's got some running room. He's got enough running room to get him up to the 40-yard line. Nice effort by Ben Schmeezing to start this second half of play. Indians are going to have it 1st and 10.
Good field position for the Indians to start the second half, right at the 40-yard line. And let's see what they can do to that 4-4 defense of Vandalia Butler.
Glad you joined us tonight. You're watching Piqua High School football on the Indian Nation station. Your home for Piqua athletics. Austin Davis in the shotgun. Gives it off to Ben Schmeezing. Ben tries to turn the corner. Doesn't have much luck. Let's see if they move the stick at all, although the referee says time's out. I think maybe he was out of bounds, or we see a flag. I think he was out of bounds. Well, Ben, let's give Ben a yard. That's about all we can give him on that one, Bob.
Yeah, ran into the short side of the field, didn't have a lot of room over there, and of course that sideline becomes the 12th man. That works in the hands of the defense, and Ben had to turn it up and right into a host of white jerseyed Butler defenders.
Second down, let's call it 2nd down and 9. Opening minute of the second half. Austin Davis in the shotgun. Back to pass, looking here to this side. Hayden Shrub's got it. Hayden Shrub gets away from one tackler and then is down, but he's down at about the 48-yard line. Looks like it's going to be good for 4 or 5 yards. Let's call it 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd down and a long 2.
Nice pass pattern, Hayden Shrub. Came down, ran a little sideline pattern. The ball came out right in his arms, but Vandalia had pretty good coverage on Hayden. He wasn't able to break for any additional yardage.
Austin's over center this time. Hand off to Ben Schmeezing. Ben trying to find a hole. Gets to the midfield stripe. That's just about all he got, but might have been enough for a 1st down. Let's see if they move the stakes.
I think he got the 1st down
Yes,
right across the 50, just into Vandalia territory. Ben was going to the left side and stopped, cut back, and found a little running room and just reached ahead and was able to get the 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Indians. Austin Davis over center, wide outs to the top side and to the near side. Back to pass, looking to the right side, trying to find Hayden Shrub. Hayden got it! Hayden got that in between 2 or 3 defenders inside the 25-yard line. Boy, I'll tell you, he was well defended, Bob, and was able to reach in there and snap it away.
Yeah, nice job by Hayden. He was running at full gait, then just stopped, paused enough, and came back and reached right between the 2 defenders, came down with the football. Nice throw by Austin, nice catch by Hayden Shrub. Nice pitch and catch.
1st and 10, ball resting on the Aviator 23-yard line. Opening minutes of the second half. Hand off to Brown. Brown's got a few yards off right tackle inside the 20. Devon Brown.
As soon as Devon hits that hole and there's a little daylight, he has an extra gear. That gear kicks in, and he scoots through there. Nice job of running by Devon.
Let's give him 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. Hand off to Ben Smeezing. Ben off left tackle. Gets to the 15-yard line. Going to be just a little bit short of the 1st down the way it appears. Going to be 3rd down, and a real long one.
So the Indians got 2 shots here with 3rd down right at the 15-yard line. They get 2 shots to pick up the 1st down. And, you more or less feel like they're going to run the ball twice if they have to. If they don't get it on 3rd down, they'll run it again on 4th.
Austin Davis over center. Smeezing and Brown are the running backs. Hand off to Ben Smeezing. Ben's going to have enough for the 1st down. He's still driving. He's driving to the 10-yard line. Nice second effort by number 23.
Yeah, he was stopped. He was stopped about the 12 or 13, but his legs didn't quit. Kept those legs moving like good backs do, and just plowed ahead right to the 10-yard line. So now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Indians on the Butler 10-yard line.
Clock's running, 8:35 left to go, 3rd quarter. Piqua with a 14-13 advantage. Again, Austin Davis over center. Hands it off to Ben Smeezing again. Ben bullies his way, and I think that literally bullies his way close to the 5-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Well, let's call it the 6-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down, goal to go from the 6.
Owen Toops enters the ball game. Looks like he's bringing in a play for the Indians, and he's going to line up as a wide receiver.
Austin Davis over center. Brown and Smeezing are the running backs. Hand off to Ben Smeezing. Oh! Ben's going to bully his way in for the score. Ben Smeezing put his head down and found the end zone. So the Indians open the 2nd half with a big touchdown. Ben Smeezing over left tackle.
Nice job of blocking up front by the Indians' offensive line. Looked like Brent Lemon, Riley Hill on that left side opened up a hole, and Ben just plowed straight ahead, took it in for the score.
Hayden Shrub for the PAT. Whoa! The snap got away from everybody. Hayden Shrub picked it up at the 25-yard line and was immediately down. I'm not exactly sure I could describe that one, Bob. That's the longest bad snap on an extra point I've seen in quite some time. Score 20-13 with 7:37 left to go in this 3rd quarter. The Indians are going to kick it away. They're going to kick it to Vandalia Butler, and Vandalia Butler has the ball for the first time here in the 2nd half. Ben Smeezing on a 6-yard plunge to put the Indians ahead.
Unfortunately, the Indians muffed the extra point attempt there, so a made attempt would have given them a little leverage. Now it's back to a 1-touchdown game instead of a 1-touchdown, 1-point game.
And again, Bob, somewhere along the line, that might be important.
Right.
So it's 20-13 with 7:37 left to go in the 3rd quarter. It's senior night here at Alexander Stadium, and again, nice crowd below us from Piqua. Crowd across the way is a little bit slim, I guess would be a good term for it. But nonetheless, a lot of excitement on the Piqua side, and the Indians have scored 3 times. And again, after that 1st quarter, Bob, the Indians have played some pretty good football.
Yeah, I think the 1st quarter was really not played very well on both sides of the ball by the Indians, but came out first part of the 2nd quarter, started doing what they had to do offensively to move the football, combination of passing and some running, and defensively they came up with an interception, and defense started playing better too. First drive of the 3rd quarter, Nice job running the football, throwing the football. The Indians came alive a little bit.
Hayden Shrub getting ready to kick it off, going deep for the Aviators, Dalton Sharp and Logan Flatt. Let's see what Hayden's able to. Hayden's done a nice job as a kicker tonight, Bob.
Oh, no question about that. He's been on target.
It was a squib kick that, I'm not sure that was an onside kick. I don't believe it was. It was a squib kick that was down by the Aviators on their own 41-yard line. I think that's where they're going to spot it. Boy, for some reason it's hard to see some of those low kicks from this vantage point. First and 10.
Jake DeMoss with Butler picked it up and tried to run with it, but he got nailed by the Indians. But outstanding field position on the 42-yard line. You don't like to allow a team to start at that place on the field.
Mason Motter is the quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Logan Flatt. Logan Flatt's across midfield, still driving inside the 50. Going to be good, I believe, for a first down, if not very close to a first down. Yes, they're moving the stakes. First and 10 for the Aviators. That was the first good run of Logan Flatt's had in quite some time.
Yeah, he was shut down towards the latter part of the first half. But again, that Vidalia offensive line did a nice job of blocking and opened up a running lane for Logan Flatt.
First and 10. Motter with the snap. Hands it off to Flatt again. This time he bullies his way over the left side. Got a yard, maybe two. Let's see where they spot the football.
Karn on the bottom of that pile for the Indians. One of a couple blue-shirted tacklers that stopped Logan Flatt.
Can only give him a yard. Second down and 9. Now, Motter looks to the Vandalia Butler sideline for a play.
That 25-second clock's down to 3 seconds.
That's right.
They're not going to get it off.
Well, that's going to be a delay of game penalty, or did they call a timeout in time?
I think they stopped the clock. The coach called a timeout.
Timeout, Vandalia Butler. The idea that they don't huddle, you think right away you don't have to worry about the 25-second clock hurting you, but when it takes that long to get the signal in from the sideline, then you're always worried about that 5-yard penalty. They had to take a timeout. That in itself, Bob, is a break for the Indians.
Yeah.
One less they can use at the end of the game, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what my next point was going to be. You don't like to use a timeout this early in a half because, as you said, you never know when you're going to need them down the road. So, a little lackness on the part of the Butler Aviators caused them to have to implement a timeout.
Timeout to change the momentum of something is one thing. A timeout because you're trying to get away from a delay of game is another. Well, Aviators are ready. Motter looking to the right sideline. Over to the far side to Logan Flatt. He picks off the pass. He's going to have enough for a first down. Going to get it all the way down to the 35-yard line. First and 10 for the Aviators.
The Indians seem to have that pretty well covered, but Logan Flatt just kind of caught the football and ran right past a couple of defenders, enabled him to pick up 5 or 6 more yards.
First and 10. Motter with the snap. He's looking downfield. He's going to try the end zone. Got somebody deep, but it's going to fall incomplete. Couldn't pick up the intended pass receiver, but I believe Bushnell was the defender, Bob, number 7.
Yeah, Bushnell did a nice job. Jacob Bushnell ran with that pass receiver. I think it was Dayton Sharp, and the Indians really stayed with him and deflected that ball away.
Second down and 10. This time, Logan Flat gets the handoff, gets down to about the 30-yard line. Let's give him 6. Call it third down and 4. It's a long 4.
Ben Smeezing came over, made the hit. Nice job by Ben from his middle linebacker spot to slow down the runner and then take him to the ground.
Motter. Back to pass, over the middle. Almost intercepted by Ben Smeezing. Almost intercepted by number 23.
Ben did a nice job reacting, moving to his left. Got his hands on the football, but just couldn't hold on to it. Now Butler's faced with a fourth. They're going to be faced with a fourth down here at the Piqua 31-yard line, and obviously they're going to go for it.
Motter waiting for the snap. Man in motion. Motter looking deep. Oh, he found, I believe that was number 13, Bob. Yes, it was. Number 13 is Bryant Johnson. Bryant Johnson picks it off and goes into the end zone for a big touchdown for the Aviators.
Yeah, the 6'5", 175-pound junior, Brian Johnson. Nice target, and he just beat Devon Brown. Of course, Devon's 5'11", and you're 5'11", going against somebody 6'5". It's not a good matchup.
Skapik's kick. Good. 4:54 left to go in the ball game. We're tied at 20. Bob, that was a very, very tough touchdown to give up. But I'll tell you, Bryant comes in rather heralded, and being 6'5" doesn't make him any a smaller target, but he's a pretty good ball player.
Oh yeah, Brian Johnson came into this ball game with 15 receptions and 8 touchdowns, and then in the first half, he caught 3 passes for 30 yards, so he's adding to his total here in this ball game.
Kind of reminds me of Hayden Shrub.
Yeah, a little taller,
yeah.
But good hands, runs good routes, and has the ability to get open.
Let's talk a little bit about some of our sponsors. Gonzo Radio, radio that listens to you, bringing true classic hits back to Piqua, the Upper Miami Valley in the world. On the internet at gonzoradiopiqua.com. America's Best Choice Windows and More. America proud, American made. Start saving today. Call them at 937-570-6785. Miami Valley Steel, a U.S. Steel Service Center. We do what we do and get a first-hand look at the steel culture we strive to achieve at Miami Valley Steel right here in Piqua. East of Chicago Pizza. Pizza done right, proudly serving Piqua at 1560 Covington Avenue. Moore's Heating and Cooling Comfort System, proudly serving Piqua, Troy, and the surrounding communities. Smarter solutions for your home, locally owned and operated, 401 South College Street in Piqua since 1993. Now the Aviators getting ready to kick it off to Piqua. Deep for the Indians. Got Colin Rowe in there this time. Smeezing, Brown. I think they've realigned that kickoff return because of that squib kick that's going right down the middle. And here it comes again. This time it's going to go into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. The Indians are going to have it 1st and 10.
I'll tell you, the Butler kicker, even when he squibs it, he's got a strong leg, and he can pound it down there. It doesn't just slowly dribble down. It's like a line drive, and that would obviously made the end zone.
1st and 10 for the Indians. We're tied at 20. 4:54 left to go here in the third quarter. Austin Davis. Sideline pass to Colin Rowe. Colin Rowe's got it. Colin gets to about the 21-yard line where he's dropped by a host of white jerseys. Led by, I believe, number 22 was one of the tacklers. That's Cameron Miller.
Vandalia defensively plays the pass very well. They move to the point of attacking. Linebackers really flow freely back and forth. Do a nice job.
Completed pass, but only a 1-yard advance. Second down and 9. This time Austin's going to operate out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking deep, looking very deep. Incomplete pass, no flag intended for Hayden Shrub. Hayden was pretty well covered by 3 white jerseys.
I think they're giving him a little more attention now.
Yeah.
At least double coverage on a lot of passes. That time, as you indicated, 3 defenders back there with him.
Okay, it's incomplete pass. Going to make it third down and 9 for the Indians. Got it on their own 21-yard line.
Indians need to pick up a first down here because if they have to punt, Vandalia is going to get outstanding field position coming back.
Let's see what Bill Neese decides to do on this big third down play. Austin Davis from the shotgun to the sideline. Completed pass, but not much in the way of advancement. That pass was to Ben Schmeezing.
They lost
Ben was not able to make any headway, so that's going to be a fourth down. And Mick Karn going to come in to punt it away. Hasn't been too many punts in these ball game for either side, Bob.
Nope, no, it hasn't. But the Indians now placed in a position where, as I said before, they're going to give Vandalia an opportunity to get back into their territory on this punt return.
Karn back from his 5. Nice high kick. Bouncing, getting a good Piqua bounce. Going to be out of bounds at about the, let's see where they're going to put it in play.
35-yard line.
At the 35-yard line, first and 10.
I'll tell you, they dodged a bullet on that one. They got a nice bounce. That thing kicked down the field and rolled a little bit. The Indians came out on top on that.
So now the Butler Aviators with the football trying to see whether they can do something to break this 20-20 tie with 3:17 left to go in the third quarter. Motter looks to the sideline. Gets the snap. He's going to run it himself. He gets to about the 37-yard line. I think we give him 2. Let's give him second down. Let's call it second down and 8. I believe that was a quarterback running play, Bob.
Oh, yeah, I think
he had no intention of handing it off or passing it.
No, it was predetermined. He just wanted to run the football because, he felt the Indians were defending, focusing so much on Logan Flat that he was going to see if he could find a lane in there to run.
Motter back to pass. Looking over the middle. Oh! Did he catch that ball? Mitchell catches the ball in Piqua territory at about the 43-yard line. Boy, Mitchell went high in the air, and he's not a very big guy, went high in the air to bring that one down. Bob, that was a big pass play for the Aviators.
And Mason Motter got pressure. I think it was Mick Karn that put a hit on him. He was blitzing, and just after he threw it, Mick put a helmet right in his rib cage.
First and 10 for Vandalia Butler. Pass here on the sideline to Jake DeMoss. Jake DeMoss gets inside the 35. They're going to move the stakes, so it's going to be another first down for Vandalia Butler. Right now, the Vandalia Butler offense driving.
Look like they did in the first quarter again. They've come
alive.
alive.
Yes, it does, Bob. Motter looking to the sideline for a Play. He's ready. Hands off to Flat. Flat gets to the 30-yard line.
Butler had the 3 receivers lined up to the right side that time, and then tried to open that middle up a little bit to allow Flat to find a running lane, but the Indians did a nice job of shutting it down.
Let's give him 2. 2nd down and 8.
They still have the 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left.
Back to pass. Looking to, oh, there might have been a pass interference on the Indians, I believe.
There was.
Bryant was down there, but he was interfered by
Devon Brown, number 35.
I think that's the case, Bob.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that.
That one was pretty obvious. So let's see where they spot the football. It's going to be 1st and 10. No, wait, they're going to move the ball back to the line of scrimmage and then walk it off. Okay. Yes, that was an obvious pass interference call against the Indians. Going to go down to about the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. I'm not so sure, had we not seen pass interference, we might have seen a touchdown, Bob.
I think maybe that was the reason Devon interfered with the receiver. He knew he was beat, and he'd rather have a penalty than a touchdown.
Motter looks to the sideline for the play. Sprinting out to the right side, to the far corner, incomplete. Hayden Shrub chased the intended pass receiver off the playing surface, so it falls incomplete, 2nd down. So the incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10 with just 1 minute and 1 second left to go here in the 3rd quarter. We're tied at 20. Been a heck of a ball game, Buck.
Yeah, it has.
Not necessarily sparkling play,
No.
but evenly matched. Let's see what happens as the Aviators come up to the line of scrimmage with 2nd down and 10. Handoff this time to Flat. Flat's going to get inside the 15-yard line. Well short of the 1st down. Let's see where they spot the football. Going to be 3rd down. Boy, I thought he got a little bit more than that, Bob, but he didn't.
Well, he got the ball deeper in the backfield, and I think he had to run further just to get to the line of scrimmage. That's why it looked like
he gained a more yardage than he actually did.
Yeah.
Only gained a yard, 3rd down and 9. Ball resting right on the 15-yard line.
Now you gotta play the pass here. You gotta play the pass.
Motter. Pass to the far sideline. Good, and good for the 1st down. Good for a goal to go. I'm trying to find out. I can't see from here who that was. That Mitchell?
Couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either. It gets kind of dark down here. I think it was him. 83 caught the ball, I've been told. Well, no 83 on the roster, so obviously it's our mysterious number 12 from Sydney.
Yeah.
We still haven't found him, have we?
No.
We're still looking for number 12.
Bought a jersey on the way up here.
1st and goal, the ball resting on the 2-yard line. Handoff, oh my goodness gracious. Handoff was to Logan Flat, who went untouched into the end zone. So the Aviators on the board with 9 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Indians' defense didn't make that stop, Bob. The Aviators had a pretty good series.
That was like running through a big gate. I mean, that thing just opened and there was no blue jerseys around.
Skapik going to try to make it a 7-point game. Kick is up. It is good. With 9 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, Butler 27, Piqua 20. Indians are going to have to come from behind, Rob.
Got to play catch-up football again and have to get that offense invigorated. It's, again, they've been up and down. They play well at times, and other times they just can't seem to find the right spot at the right time.
See what happens as Sutton Skeptic going to kick it off to the Indians. 27-20. Vandalia Butler over Piqua. And as we talked about in the pregame show, Bob, over the years, the Vandalia Butlers have played the Piqua Indians pretty tough.
Yeah, they always, Vandalia has always had a representative team, sometimes better than others, but always work hard, hustle, make plays, and the mistake-wise, they have the one interception, but haven't fumbled the football. Penalties have been in a minimal amount.
Here's Skeptic's kick. Scoots down, going to be picked up at the 20-yard line by Ben Schmeezing. Ben cuts back. Ben keeps bullying his way up to about the 40-yard line. So the Indians have pretty good field position as we start. Well, we're not going to start the fourth quarter because there's still 1 second left to go in the third quarter. Indians with the ball, 1st and 10.
Well, the field position's good.
Yes, it is.
So that gives you more selection in your offense, what you want to do, what you can do. My sense is they're going to come out and try to, again, establish that run.
Austin Davis over center. Brown and Schmeezing are the running backs. Hand off to Davon Brown. Davon's going to get a couple as the third quarter comes to an end. At the end of 3 quarters of play, Butler 27, Piqua 20. Let's talk a little bit about some of our fine sponsors. Mulligan's Pub, the only place to go in beautiful downtown Fort Piqua Plaza. Catering and fine cuisine by Chef James Patton. Dick Lumpkin, whether you have a minor dent or a major reconstruction, including major frame repairs, a simple oil change, or a mechanical repair, or even if you just locked your keys in your car, the professionals at Lumpkins are committed and ready to deliver their award-winning customer service and quality workmanship. Remember this phrase, you've heard it a lot of times, got a bump, go see Lump. Piqua Harley Davidson, we promote the passion for motorcycling for our customers and community by providing an exciting and fun experience through integrity-based principles. And by our Unity National Bank, your hometown banking solution at 215 North Wayne Street in Piqua. So, Bob, after 3 quarters of play, the Vandalia Butler Aviators own a 7-point lead. We've got a long way to go.
Yeah, obviously quarter to play, but the Indians came out sluggish, I thought. Just to have not act like they've been ready to play football. And Vandalia, on the other hand, has. They've come out offensively and defensively, played very well, and jumped ahead of Piqua here. So, again, Indians, good field position, need to generate an offensive drive on this series.
And can't afford to give it back to the Aviators without putting something on the scoreboard. Waiting now for the television representative standing on the field, to making sure that nothing happens until he gives the okay. Again, Piqua plays at Tip City next Friday, and then the following Friday, game number 10, scheduled for Troy Memorial Stadium. And again, 2 big games left for the Indian, but right now they got their work cut out for them with the Vandalia Butler Aviators.
You're right.
Waiting now for the TV timeout to expire so we can get back to play. Glad you joined us tonight. It was senior night here at Alexander Stadium. The Piqua seniors and all the sports, the band, the cheerleaders, the managers, all recognized before the game here tonight. We're ready to go. Indians with the ball, 1st and 10. Have it on their own 42-yard line. Over center's Austin Davis. Hand off to Ben Smazing. Ben gets enough running room. Oh, nice second effort across midfield into Vandalia Butler territory. In fact, Ben got enough, I believe, for a Piqua first down, and he did.
Yeah, nice job by Ben. Lowered his shoulder, just squared the pads up and plowed through a couple defenders, picked up the first down. Ben's awfully difficult to bring down if you only have one man trying to tackle him, because he's strong, big, got pretty good speed. He can knock people down.
1st and 10, ball resting on the Vandalia Butler 48. Austin Davis this time back to Ben Smizio. Uh-oh, Ben's running into trouble. He can't make the turn. Going to lose a yard or two, all the way back to just about midfield. I think that's where they're going to put the ball.
That was the same
play.
play.
49-yard line.
That was the same play, and Vandalia, the defensive end, just stayed home that time and recognized the counteraction, little counteraction, where our quarterback, Austin Davis, fakes to Devon Brown and gives the ball to Ben Smezing going in the opposite direction. Vandalia was ready and shut it down.
2nd down and 11. Davis in the shotgun. Back to pass. Now he's going to run. He's going to get some running room. Going to go to the 40-yard line. Not quite enough for a first down. Everybody was covered, so Austin Davis says, I think I can run. Did see some green and got down to the 40-yard line.
And it's going to come back. It's going to come back because I think Piqua was holding.
We haven't had many penalties in this ballgame, have we, Bob?
No, they called a
Penalty's
personal.
going to be against Vandalia Butler.
Personal foul. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I didn't see that. Of course, it's hard to say where it was.
That was a big penalty for the Indians and a tough penalty for Vandalia Butler. Personal foul on the Aviator. I didn't see it either.
Well, he threw the flag right in the area where there were a couple Piqua blockers, and I thought maybe one just reached out and grabbed somebody. But I don't know what happened.
1st and 10 for the Indians. They're at the, see where they spot the football. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the 24-yard line. Indians trying to score to get back in this one. They trail 27-20. 10:28 left to go in the game. Austin Davis over center. Somebody jumped offside on the Vandalia Butler side, I believe. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that is exactly what's offside. That's going to make it 1st down and 5. Another break for the Indians, Bob. 2 penalties, and that isn't hurting anybody.
And the coach is yelling at him, don't anticipate the snap. Watch the football. Watch the football.
1st and 5. Mexroth to the top side, Hayden Shrub to the near side. Davis over center. He's going to pass. He's going to try to find Shrub in the end zone. And he does! Hayden Shrub for 6. Oh, Hayden Shrub had a step or two on his defender, Bob, and Austin Davis put it right on the numbers. A beautiful pass, beautiful catch. Indians now a PAT away from tying this one up. You could see when he threw that ball, Hayden was going to get it.
Right, enough air under it, allowed Hayden to run under the football at the back part of the end zone and held on to it. Indians have a chance to tie the game here.
Hayden Shrub. Kick is up. Good. We're tied at 27 with 9:47 left to go in the ball game. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Bob, that's the 3rd Austin Davis to Hayden Shrub touchdown in the evening.
I think you're right. Yep, and the Indians generated some offense with the help of a penalty or two along the way, and now they have to go back to playing defense and stopping Vandalia so Vandalia doesn't answer that score. They need a good kick. They need the right kind of kickoff down here.
Would be nice to drive them back, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Field position's been pretty tough, pretty good for both teams tonight.
Yep, you're right.
And bad field position has been bad for the other team. Well, let's see what happens as the Indians get ready to kick it off to the Aviators. Glad you joined us tonight from Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. It's senior night. Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby, glad to be with you. In case it's important, remember Butler had to take a timeout early to escape a delay of game. They've got 2 timeouts left, and the Indians, of course, have all 3 of theirs. Might be important as we get a little further along here in quarter number 4. Hayden Shrub ready to kick it off. Kickoff's going to go down to, I believe that's Dayton Sharp. Dayton Sharp gets away from some Piqua tacklers, gets to the 45, 46-yard line before he's dropped out of bounds. Bob, we talked about field position, and right now the Aviators are going to start this offensive drive with good field position.
Cale Mextroff finally made the stop, threw him out of bounds, but well, you can't allow a team to start on the 45-yard line and expect to get positive results out of your defense. This makes it very difficult for them.
Mason Motter is their quarterback. Looks to the sideline for a play.
4 seconds left on the 25-second clock. Just got her off.
Snap just in time. Motter decides to run and basically runs for his life as he gets to the. I think we probably give him the. Well, they're moving right back to the 10-yard stick, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10. I think that was a play of desperation. He'd think he had to get the ball in play. Didn't have any place to go.
Right.
2nd down and 10. Pass to the far side to Flat. Flat picks off the pass, gets to the midfield stripe, maybe a little bit above it, but well short of the 1st down. Going to be 3rd down, and looks like it's 3rd down. Let's give him 6. Let's call it 3rd down and 4. Boy, that sideline pass has been part of that offensive arsenal for Vandalia tonight.
Indians have a hard time covering that. Just can't get somebody out there quickly enough into the flat to defend it.
I may have done it once on air. The background is here.
Motter waiting for the snap. He's got it. Pass this side. It's off to, that's Logan Flat again. Logan Flat picks up the pass, goes to the 45-yard line, good for a 1st down. So the Aviators again, 1st and 10.
That was the same play, but run to this side. The other one was run to the left side. This one came back to the right side towards the Piqua bench. Logan Flat out in the flat.
I'm impressed with this Motter, the quarterback, Bob.
Does a nice job.
Sprinting out to the left side. Got a receiver. That's going to be number 10. That's Jake DeMoss. Jake DeMoss gets to about the 40-yard line. Well, maybe a little bit beyond that. Yes, to the 38-yard line.
Yep.
2nd down and 4. Indian defense has to make a stop here as the offensive unit for the Aviators moving right down the field. Motter's ready. Hands it off to Flat. Flat gets to about the 35-yard line. Awfully close to another 1st down for Vandalia Butler.
I think he just missed it.
I
I think
think
he's
you're
about
right,
a half
Bob.
yard short.
3rd down, let's call it 3rd down and 1, but it might be a little less than 1. 6:45 left to go in the game. Right now we're tied at 27. Hand off to Flat. Flat this time over right side. Boy, he's driving inside the 30-yard line, well beyond the stakes. Another first down for the Aviators. I'm impressed with Motter and Flat, Bob. Huh?
Oh.
We've seen some pretty good quarterback, running back combinations this year. These two guys are pretty darn good.
Oh, no question about that. Motter, the quarterback's only a junior, so he's got another year to do this all over again.
Hand off to Flat. Down to about the 25-yard line. Been a little bit on where they stop, spot the ball. Going to be at the 26-yard line. Let's call it second down and 8. Clock continues to run. We got 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in this ball game. We're tied at 27. Motter sprints out to the right side, looking for a receiver, couldn't find him. Tried to find number 26, that was Connor Hendricks. Overthrow him, falls incomplete.
So the Aviators are in 4-down territory here. They're facing 3rd and 8. So they got 2 shots now to pick up this yardage and look for Mason Motter maybe to go to the air again. They like to throw it out to Logan Flat. That's been a real successful play for them.
Let's see what happens as Aviators come to the line of scrimmage. Motter looked into the right side, looking on the sideline. It was loose. It was in the hands of the number 13. That's Brian Johnson. He bobbled it, almost picked off by either a blue jersey or a white jersey, eventually fell to the turf.
Well, Brian Johnson, as I said earlier, he's 6'5". He gets up there. He's hard to defend, but he just couldn't hold on to that football. And he's favoring an ankle or a leg. I watched him walk back, and he's limping somewhat.
4th down and 8. Boy, this is a huge play. Play coming from the sideline to Mason Motter. Back to pass. Going to go to the end zone. Got number 13. Couldn't handle it. Oh, he got it over there to Brian Johnson. Got his hand on it, but he was pretty well defended. He couldn't bring it down, so the Indians get the football, and just enough time for a score, Bob.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Devon Brown's he's got his hands full out there trying to cover Brian Johnson. You know, when you're 5'11", trying to defend a 6'5" receiver, it's tough. And Brian Johnson has those long strides. He can get down the field. It looks like a television timeout here.
So there's a timeout on the field. So we're glad you've joined us from Alexander Stadium on senior night. Hear from some of our fine sponsors, the Miami Valley Center Mall here in Piqua, the center of your life. Going postal. In the Walmart Shopping Center, go there for all of your holiday shipping needs. Shelby County Collectibles in the Miami Valley Center Mall, your one-stop shop for NFL and collegiate sports memorabilia, apparel, and collectibles. Beppa Uno, the finest Italian pizzeria in Piqua. Tell the Williamson family that Indian Nation Station sent you. Brownlee Ray Realty at North Street in Piqua. Town and Country Furniture on West Water Street in Piqua. Come to us for all your furniture needs. Frank Fullenkamp, Frenchtown Trailer and Sales on Mansion Road in Versailles, and the Jewelry Barn at 2399 Russia Versailles Road in Russia. So our fine sponsors are bringing you this telecast as they have during this home season. Time back in, and Piqua's going to have the ball, and we've got 5 minutes and 22 seconds. And Bob, if we could chew up about 5 minutes of the time and score a touchdown, the Indians would go away with a big win.
Well, methodically, you'd like to see just a steady drive of running the football, running the clock right down the field.
Austin Davis. of the officials called timeout. I don't believe there was a penalty. He was waiting for, I think maybe the play clock had to be readjusted. Now we got it, so we're ready to go. Or there was an equipment problem. I think one of the umpires looking at, yes, here comes somebody from the Piqua sideline. Yeah, I think it's a helmet problem. Taken care of, we're ready to go. Davis in the shotgun. Handoff to Davon Brown. Davon Brown around the left side of the Piqua sideline, all the way up to the 35-yard line. I think he's going to be a little short of a first down, though, isn't he, Bob?
Yeah, but that's a nice first down play.
Yes, it was.
I'll take that. I'll take 9 yards on the first down. Now the Indians, typically been struggling on first down. Now you get that kind of yardage, it gives you a little more opportunity to open up your playbook a little bit if you want to.
Second down, just one to go. Austin Davis over center. Hand off to Ben Smeezing. Ben Smeezing's got more than enough room. In fact, he's got lots of room all the way into Vandalia Butler territory, all the way down to the 45-yard line. First and 10, Piqua. Ben Smeezing on a nice run there, Robert.
Nice hole opened up, and Ben has the ability to find those holes. You know, you have to read your lineman's block, and he did a good job of reading and kicked it upfield, turned it upfield, ran vertically, picked up the first down.
First and 10 for the Indians. Ball resting on the Vandalia 45-yard line. Hand off to Ben Smeezing again. Ben tries the middle. Ben gets down to about the 40-yard line. Let's give him credit for 4. Let's call it second down and 6. Play coming in from the sideline with Hayden Shrub.
Clock continues to tick, 4:15 remaining in the ball game.
Two wide receivers to the far side. Austin Davis hands it off to Ben Smeezing. Ben Smeezing continues to get the football and continues to do well. He's inside the 35-yard line. Good for another Piqua first down. Bob, is just about going as you predicted. Use the clock, use the field,
Well, that time
use Ben Smeezing.
Right. Ben Smeezing had 4 or 5 tacklers on him, and when they tried to tackle him, push him out, he was still standing up. They never did get him down. The only reason the play stopped was because he was out of bounds.
Indians out of the huddle. Davis operating from the shotgun. Uh-oh. Somebody moved in the Piqua backfield, and I believe that's going to cost the Indians 5 yards. Let's see if that's the call, and that is the call. Going to be first and 15.
May have been number 40, Matt Blankenship, that moved.
I believe Matt did. First and 15 for the Indians. Clock stopped at 3:55 left. We're tied at 27 in what has been a very, very evenly matched pair of GWAC teams. Davis over center. Hands it off to Davon Brown. Oh, Davon gets a couple extra yards and down to the 30-yard line. Looked like Davon was going to be caught at the line of scrimmage, but was able to squirt loose and get a couple yards. In fact, he got more than a couple yards.
Little shake and bake there by Devon. He just twisted away. A nice move he put on the defender. Picked up some of that yardage on his own because he had people hanging on to him.
Second down. Austin Davis over center. Pitch out to Davon Brown. Ooh, Davon trying to get around the right side. Couldn't make the turn, and they turned him inside, and he was dropped, I think, Bob, maybe for a bit of a loss.
Yeah, I think you're right. That play that little pitch sweep has not been real successful tonight for the Indians. They just have not been able to kick out the end man or linebacker on that side, and just the rest of the defensive force of Butler comes up and jumps in on the tackle.
3rd down and 7. Ball resting on the Vandalia 29-yard line. Clock running. 2.5 minutes left in the game. We're tied at 27. And Bill Neese says we need timeout. Timeout on the field by Piqua. Let's remind you once more the fine sponsors who are bringing you these telecasts. Gonzo Radio, America's Best Choice Windows and More, Miami Valley Steel, East of Chicago Pizza, Moore's Heating and Cooling Comfort Systems, Mulligan's Pub, Dick Lumpkin, Piqua Harley Davidson, Unity National Bank, the Miami Valley Center Mall in Piqua, Going Postal, SC Collectibles in the Miami Valley Center Mall, Beppo Uno, Brownlee Ray Realty, Town and Country Furniture, Frank Fullenkamp, Frenchtown Trailer and Sales, and the Jewelry Barn. Our thanks to all those sponsors for their help in bringing you these telecasts. Well, 3rd down, Bob, and 7. The Indians are going to have 2 shots at it, and boy, this is the time when another 1st down would help, because that would allow the Indians to go 1st down with 2:27 and give them just enough time to sneak one in and not give enough time for the Aviators to respond.
Almost have to feel they're going to throw the ball on this down. I don't know that, obviously, but 3rd and long, 4 down territory though. So let's see what they have up their sleeve.
Let's see what happens as the Indians break the huddle and Austin Davis goes over center. Sprinting out to the left side is Austin Davis, trying to find somebody in the middle. It was intended for Derek Height, but they said he trapped the ball incomplete. So now, Bob, we got 4th down and 7. Now the Indians got to keep possession of the football.
Yeah, now you know they're going to throw it. Almost forced to throw it here to pick up the 1st down. That was a well-executed play. If it did hit the turf, that was just unfortunate.
Just a little bit low for Derek. 4th down and 7. Well, I hate to say it, Bob, but I believe it's true. This is the play of the game right here.
Yep, for both teams,
Absolutely.
actually.
Austin Davis is going to operate out of the shotgun. 2 wide outs to the top side and to the near side. Let's see where they're going to throw the football. Austin's going to go deep, trying to find Hayden Schrubb. Hayden Schrubb again! Hayden Schrubb gets it in the end zone. Oh, my! Hayden Schrubb has a way of getting beyond his defender by about a step and a half, and Austin Davis threw right in his hand for a score. 4 touchdowns. Austin Davis to Hayden Schrubb tonight. What a night those 2 guys have had, and they've had some helpers as well.
Career night for both of them, Austin Davis and Hayden Schrubb. What a way to celebrate senior night. Well-thrown ball, nice catch. Boy, you have to give both those guys credit. You have to give the offensive line credit, too.
That's right.
Because they kept the white-shirted defenders out of the backfield.
I'm not sure Austin Davis has been sacked, has he?
No.
I don't believe he has. There's a 2-point conversion, and Michael Karn is dropped.
How many times has that happened?
We've had that about a half a dozen times.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a critical situation. This time of the year, you have to get that center holder situation nailed down. I know their long snapper got hurt a little earlier in the year, but by now you should be able to do that. That has to be an automatic thing, and boy, that can come back to bite you very quickly.
33-27. Indians with a 6-point lead, And I emphasize the 6 because that could be important here with 2:13 left to go in this ball game.
I couldn't tell. Did he fumble the snap? Was
I
it
couldn't-
that bad? I
I-
thought he just took the snap and got up and started running, but I couldn't see that well from here.
Bob, I'd like to think that that might have been just the case. It wasn't a totally errant snap from
No,
center.
no.
Wasn't over his head or anything.
Didn't bounce, I didn't think. Maybe he had a hard time getting the laces lined up. I couldn't tell.
Well, let's see what happens as Hayden Shrub gets ready to kick it deep to Vandalia Butler. 2:13 left to go. Indians now with a 33-27 lead. Been about the kind of game, Bob, you and I would have predicted.
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be a little more leeway in here, but boy, that's not the case.
Here comes the kick. Gonna go deep. I believe that's Dayton Sharp who's got the ball. He gets around the left side. He's going to get all the way up to about the 36-yard line. Boy, again, field position's pretty good, Bob. With 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go, there's time for the Vandalia Butler offense to do something. They've got 2 timeouts left, so have the Indians. Ball's at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. Butler's with the ball, but Butler trails 33-27. Let's see what happens as the Aviators get the ball and off. They got 3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top side. Somebody moved. Somebody moved. I believe that was Logan Flatt. Moved in the back field. That's going to cost the Aviators 5 yards.
Situation right now, you don't want to be beaten deep.
That's right.
You got to give, maybe if you feel like you're overmatched, you got to give that guy a little more cushion. You got to give the offensive guy a little more cushion so you can stay between him and the goal line.
Mason Motter looking to the sideline. Pass to this sideline. It's Mitchell. Mitchell's got the pass. He's going to go out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Mitchell got the 5 yards back that they lost via penalty, maybe an extra one. Let's call it 2nd down and 9. Exactly 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. Clock stopped when Mitchell stepped out of bounds. Motter sprints out to the left side, to the sidelines. Got Mitchell. Mitchell at the 49-yard line, good for a 1st down. Boy, they have worked those sidelines to death, Bob.
Yeah, nice timing, nice throwing by Vandalia. Mason Motter continues to make good throws, looking for Jack Mitchell, the sophomore, doing a good job of getting out of bounds.
1st and 10. 1:54 left to go. Mitchell goes out of bounds and stops the clock. Motter over the middle to Mitchell again. Mitchell's got it. Got it at the 45-yard line. Vandalia quickly to the line of scrimmage. Thought they were going to hurry up and get a play, but they took a little time to get it from the sideline. Back to pass is Motter. Motter's got number 10, but overthrew his intended receiver and knocked Cale Mextroth, I think it was the defender there. Incomplete pass.
Cale could have intercepted that, I think.
Yeah, that one was within his grasp, so to speak. 3rd down and 3. Clock stopped with 1:27 left.
Piqua only rushing 3 defenders, so that gives the quarterback a lot more time because they're not getting any pressure on him. That gives Mason Motter a better opportunity to throw the football. Piqua's putting their defenders back in pass coverage, trying to take away some of those short routes.
Motter to this sideline, to Flat. Flat gets the ball inside the 4. Oh, he's still loose inside the 35-yard line. They had him at the 40, and he squirted loose inside the 35 down to the 34.
Missed tackles there. Had him hit, just didn't wrap him up. He ran through a couple tackles.
Motter to the far side. Got a receiver inside the 30. Fumble. Fumble recovered by Piqua. Ben Smeezing's running off the field with the football, so I guess Piqua's got it, Bob. I didn't see the fumble, but obviously that was the call. Piqua's going to have it 1st and 10, and Bob, that should wrap it up.
Should.
Oh, what a play deep in Piqua territory.
Right in that series, Vandalia was taking it to Piqua. They were coming
Yes, they
to
were.
Piqua. Great passing attack, and the Indians were back on their heels. And I don't know who put the ball on the ground.
Smeezing stripped it.
Oh, okay. Looked like Smeezing may have stripped it from the receiver. Yeah.
So now with 1:05 left to go in the ball game, Indians have it. Butler does have 2 timeouts left. Oh, here comes a player in from the Piqua side, and that's going to require Piqua to use one of their timeouts.
Didn't have a back in there.
No, didn't have 11 players on the field, but right now the Indians got to be careful, Bob. You simply cannot afford to cough it up.
No, and you say you want to get conservative. I can't see the clock. I have to lean out here. There's
1:04.
1:04 remaining in the ball game. How many timeouts for Vandalia?
Vandalia's got 2 left. Piqua's
Okay.
now just has 1.
You know they'll stop the clock.
Sure they will.
So it's important that Piqua doesn't throw an incomplete pass or anything. I think you got to run the football and just try to take some time off the clock.
Let's see what happens as the Indians trot back onto the playing surface. 1st and 10, they've got it on their own 26. A fumble deep in their territory, picked off by the Indians. Davis over center. Hands it off to Ben Smeezing. Smeezing's going to have just about enough for a 1st down, and immediately, I believe, that's a timeout. Yeah, timeout called by Vandalia Butler, and awfully close to a 1st down.
About a
Close
yard.
enough to measure it, or are they going to move it?
About a
They're gonna
yard
move
short.
The stakes.
Oh, they are?
I believe they are. I think I see one of the officials say, move the stakes. Yes, I believe they did, Bob. 1st and 10 for Piqua. Another big break.
I thought they'd want to measure that because I thought that was awfully close, but I won't argue the point. I'll let them move it, and the Indians retain possession and have another set of 4 downs if they choose.
And Vandalia had to use a timeout. So they're down to 1 timeout, and that could be crucial. Although with the Indians, they got to be very careful in handling the football.
Take care of the ball.
That's right.
Don't run any pitches. Just, a lot of times a fumble will happen because the quarterback doesn't get the ball in the pocket of the running back. In other words, hits him on the hip.
Yeah.
Those things can happen. So, and again, what happened to Vandalia? A good defender will strip the football away from you. And Vandalia's got a linebacker, number 23, Jack Akers, has 6 forced fumbles.
Waiting for the snap. And Austin Davis is going to take a knee. That's going to force them to use their last timeout, which they, of course, do. So 54 seconds left to go. Butler's out of timeouts. So now it's a matter of just running out the clock. And unless something spectacular happens, this one is going to go in the books as a W for Piqua, a W that has been well earned, but has been awfully difficult. This has been a heck of a ball game. We got two pretty evenly matched teams here tonight, Bob.
I think you're right. Couple, 3 or 4 good players, especially on Vandalia. I've been very impressed with. I have to talk about Logan Flatt, the running back, Mason Motter, the quarterback, Bryant Johnson, the wide receiver, and I like that Jack Mitchell, number 4.
Yes, sirree.
He's just a sophomore, but boy, he was their go-to guy in that last drive.
No question. Davis over center. Going to take another knee. Can't stop the clock now. So now with 50 seconds and ticking away, the Indians are going to go to 5-3 and get ready then to play Tip City next Friday night. And that will also be a challenge. Indians up to the line of scrimmage. They are in absolutely no hurry. The 25-second clock is ticking, but they still have 18 seconds left on that one. So there can be no way that Piqua can lose this one, because Austin Davis takes a knee, and that will probably end it, and it will. 10 seconds left, and the Indians are going to win this one 33-27. Bob, this has been a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, much closer than I thought. It might be a competitive game, but I didn't think it'd come down to this. I really didn't. Vandalia had a shot at winning the game the latter part of the fourth quarter, and obviously a fumble caused that to change direction.
With a 6-point lead, boy, a touchdown and an extra point, and you're on the other side of the ledger.
Yep.
Well, let's see if Coach Krejci is going to visit us here after the ball game. He usually does. He usually is very eager to talk to you about the ball game. It's a little more fun when you win than when you don't win. But by the same token, this has been an awfully good ball game. And I turn around and guess who's there? There's Coach Krejci. And Bob, you couldn't wipe that smile off your face with a crowbar.
Coach, I'll start by saying pretty good ball game.
Great ball game.
Huh?
I tell you what, that was it wasn't very good sitting up here watching it as a coach, but I'll tell you what, the kids played well. We were down, we came back, we went ahead, then we were down again and tied. It was back and forth. They played very well. They executed very well.
Oh yeah.
And it was great to get that fumble at the end. That was the only mistake I think they made the whole night.
One interception.
And
they threw an interception,
yeah.
I'll tell you, looking at Piqua, Austin Davis, Hayden Shrub, what a night for them. Hayden, he's just amazing. Goes up and catches the ball. Of course, Austin gets it to him. Then you have to look at the offensive line, give them credit. They're protecting Austin. So that was the fun part of the offense for Piqua. Sometimes it seems like we struggle to run the football. Couldn't get that breakaway thing going. Smeezing had a great night, I think.
He ran hard.
He's his own blocker quite often. Just runs over people, through people. What a football player.
That was pure determination from him. I'll tell you. He was hot. We wanted to ease into it in terms of because he plays both ways, and both running backs do, and so we want to try to ease into that running game, but like we did at the end of the Sydney game, we just kept on pounding it, and it turned out it worked very well for us.
We seem to have a little trouble covering the passing plays out in the flat. They'd send their running back out there, Logan Flatt, out in the flat, and he caused us some problems.
They executed. You got that's a hard throw. It's the hardest throw that a quarterback has.
That's a long
to
way.
The sideline,
Yeah.
and we want to take away what's easy for him and make him throw hard. And he had a great game. The kid threw the ball very well.
Did they do anything different to try to offensively that you hadn't seen much this year?
Offensively, no. That's basically what they've ran. They've ran it for years, and they put you in a bind with the sprint draw, and and this kid throws the ball very well. And passing wise, throwing the bubbles like they did, usually they couldn't complete that pass because it's a tough pass to complete. And they did very well with it.
And throwing downfield, Brian Johnson, the 6'5" youngster, he's a tough thing to deal with.
I tell you, he's being 6'5", right there at the end, I thought we did a nice job defensing, and we knocked the ball away from him. And, I was real proud of the defense and defensive backs for doing what they did.
On the fumble, it appeared that Smeezing stripped the ball from the ball carrier.
That's what the coaches were talking about there in our office down there. We watched a replay of it, and that's exactly what happened. He did the same thing 2 weeks ago, and gave us the ball back, and just a great play.
I'm sure you guys work on that drill in practice, stripping the ball away from the receiver.
We have a strip drill that we run during our tackling circuit. Yes, sir.
Well, Ben Smeezing, you can't talk enough about him on both sides of the ball. He does a good job for you. Of course, you got quite a few players that are coming out playing hard. Senior night especially, special for them. A nice win for the Indians, and doesn't get any easier. You look down the road, you got Tippecanoe and Troy. Get ready for next week and see how the chips fall.
Well, the great thing about it, we get an extra day to prepare now, so we really appreciate that, and we're going to use our time wisely, and go down there, and hopefully we play better than we did the last time we were there.
Will you scout tomorrow night?
We get that film, but I'm sure we'll get together and go watch things live. Yes.
Do you get more or anything watching it live? I don't want to say more, but do you get anything watching it live versus sitting down watching the tape?
Well, sure, because you can see a little bit better personnel-wise, what their personnel is doing. I think live, it's just, I don't know why that is, but it's just a natural thing that when you see it live, you get a better idea what their personnel is like.
Well, again, Coach, nice win tonight. That's the way you like. If you're going to have a game like that, you want to turn in your favor. You guys made the play you had to at the end. Congratulations. I look forward to seeing you next. We won't see you because it's a away game next week.
Okay, buddy.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yep.
Coach Krejci stops by to talk to Bob Luby. Bob, let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk about it by looking at these stats. You got the stats. Tell us what they look like. You haven't had a chance to look at them for very long, but tell us what it says.
Okay, the final score, obviously, in case you just walked in, it's Piqua 33, Butler 27. First downs, very close. Butler had 22 first downs. Piqua had 21. Rushing yards, Butler rushed 24 times for 87 yards. Piqua rushed 36 times for 180 yards. So Piqua's rushing game picked up a little bit tonight. Passing yards, Butler was 25 for 37, 248 yards. And a lot of that came in the second half. They really picked up their pace a little bit. One interception, of course, from Butler. Piqua, 13 for 26, 222 yards. Total offense, Butler ran 61 plays for 335 yards. Number of plays runs very close. Piqua ran 62 plays for 402 yards. Not a bad night's work, 402 yards. A lot of yardage picked up out on the field tonight. Interceptions, Butler threw the one pick. Punts, Butler only punted once all night, 29 yards. Piqua only punted twice for a 43-yard average. Of course, the one fumble that Butler lost may have cost them the opportunity to win the football game. Penalties, very minimal. Butler penalized 5 times for 45 yards. Piqua 3 times, 25 yards. Possession time, time of possession, Butler had the ball for 24 minutes and 7 seconds. Piqua had the ball for 22 minutes and 26 seconds. So again, very close. Individual stats, Logan Flatt held to less than 100 yards, 21 rushes, 83 yards, average 4 yards a carry. Ben Smeezing for Piqua, 21 carries, 110 yards. He averaged 5.2 per carry.
Ben had a big night for us, Bob.
Oh, he did, both sides of the ball. There's a guy plays 60 minutes. He's out there the whole time. Devon Brown, 11 carries, 65 yards. He averaged 5.9 per carry. So both Smeezing and Brown had really, really good nights. As we mentioned, passing, Motter passed for 248 yards for Butler. Austin Davis passed for 222 yards for Piqua. Pass receiving. It was a big night for both teams. Jack Mitchell for Butler, 9 receptions, 90 yards. Jake DeMoss, 5 receptions, 39 yards. Brian Johnston, 4 receptions, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Logan Flatt, 4 receptions, 32 yards. For Piqua, Hayden Shrub, wow, career night. He'll want to watch this game over and over again. He may want to go to the matinee to see this one. Hayden Shrub, 8 receptions, 149 yards, 4 touchdowns.
It was a terrific night for.
Oh my,
Hayden.
4 touchdowns for a wide receiver. Boy, you'll relive this one for many days. Devon Brown had 2 receptions, 15 yards. Derek Height, 1 reception, 42 yards. And at the end, they said the ball hit the ground, which I'd have to respect the pass thrown to Derek. But that was a nice attempted catch by him. Ben Smeezing, 1 catch, 15 yards. Micah Karn averaged 43 yards on his 2 punts, and Butler only punted once for 29 yards. Tackles, Micah Karn had 14 tackles. He was busy guy tonight. And Ben Smeezing, on the other side of the ball, he had 11 tackles. James Congdon, 7. Megan Kuhn had 7. Big win for Piqua. As we always say, it wasn't the prettiest. And, we talk about paintings, and it wasn't a Michelangelo or Picasso. What do we always used to say, Dwayne? It was a paint by numbers, maybe, but it was a win. It was a win, and that's what counts.
The statistics were pretty even, simply because the ball game was pretty even, 33 to 27. You'd almost guess that the statistics were not going to be dominated by either team based on what we saw out there tonight.
But I'll be real honest with you. That last series when Vandalia had the football, I was concerned.
I was very concerned, too.
Because of the way they moved it. It was a systematic movement down the field, short pass out of bounds, but it was consistent. And you have to like Mason Motter, Vandalia's quarterback. He throws the ball well. I thought he was a very good quarterback.
And again, Bob, the difference being a 6-point game, you score a touchdown, you can win it with an extra point, and that's what made it even more exciting. But that fumble was huge, obviously. Well, that's the story tonight from Alexander Stadium with the final score, Piqua 33, Vandalia Butler 27. We'd like to thank the Piqua City Schools, the Piqua Athletic Department, Piqua Head Coach Bill Neath, Athletic Director Chip Hare, Media Teacher Damian Skeens, A.J. Ganger, our Director and TriCaster, and the students of Piqua High School that helped us film this game. Again, the final score tonight was Piqua 33, Vandalia Butler 27. Until the next time, this is Dwayne Bachman, along with Bob Luby, saying, good night, everybody.